Live from the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut, downstairs here at the Twin Rinks. This afternoon, NCAA Division II hockey action as the visitors from Hooksett, New Hampshire, the Franklin Pierce Ravens, 1-16-1 in conference, 123-2 on the season, have made about the 3.5-hour drive down to Shelton to take on your Post University Eagles, 10-14 overall, 8-10-0 in the NE10. A pleasant good afternoon, everybody, here on Senior Day at the Sports Center of Connecticut. I'm Jeff Nelson. Coach Pete Whitney will join us in just a few minutes. For the Eagles, a bit of an ebb and flow as the 2025 calendar year has gone on here in the final home game of the regular season. The Eagles won 5 out of 6 just a short time ago, but now have lost 4 out of 5. After defeating Assumption on a Friday night in overtime on a Joe Santoro game-winning goal. They lost to Assumption on Tuesday in a makeup game due to the weather. They were supposed to play Friday, Saturday, instead they played Friday, Tuesday. They lost 3-1 on Tuesday to Assumption. Eagles coming into today needing a sweep of Franklin Pierce, both win today and win tomorrow at Franklin Pierce. This is a home-and-home series. Hope that one of St. Mike's or Assumption lose both. Now, St. Mike's and Assumption are playing each other this weekend, game tonight, game tomorrow. If one of those two teams sweeps the other one in regulation, and there's some complexities that go into this, where there's an overtime win, or there's an overtime loss, or there's a tie. So there's deep complexities as we get into the playoff picture, but the simplest path is that the Eagles win both of their games today and tomorrow in regulation, and have one of either St. Mike's or Assumption lose both of their games against each other this weekend. That will get the Eagles the 4 seed and an opportunity to have a home playoff game here on Tuesday at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Any other scenario, and the Eagles will end up as the 5 seed and will be traveling on the road. Now, who they may be playing on the road, that is also up for debate, because Southern New Hampshire is the 2 seed with 32 points. And they're playing number 1 seed St. A's this weekend in a home in back-to-back games as well. So a lot of flipping and moving in the standings still left to be said. The things we know for sure, Coach, is St. A's is going to be the 1 seed, as they have 44 points and are far and away the number 1 team in the regular season. And Franklin Pierce, who we see today, is going to be the 6th seed in the NE10 playoffs. Where everybody else fits, we'll find out. But the Eagles can either be 5 or 4, depending how the weekend plays out.
Yeah, and that's one of the fun things about college athletics, right? You're down to a weekend here where everyone's singing the same song, right? Post is saying, we got to win 2. Assumption's saying, we got to win 2. St. Mike's is saying, we got to win 2.
And Southern New Hampshire as well, because they're right on the cusp of being into the play-in tournament.
Yeah, again, exactly. So. The only team that, if you will, is comfortable, like you said, is St. Anselm's, because the first 2 teams get byes, right? So that's what they're playing for. St. Mike's wants that spot, and conversely, right, Southern New Hampshire doesn't want to give it up. So whatever games you get to this weekend within those groups, be some really fun games to watch.
So game 1 for the Eagles right now, they got to take care of their own business, so 1 game at a time. They need to win both and either have one of St. Mike's or Assumption lose both games in regulation. And again, it gets a little funky with overtime wins and losses and things like that, but that's the simplest of scenarios for the Eagles to have a home game on Tuesday as the 4 seed, and they would host the 5 seed, whoever that would be. So again, lots of things to go through as we get through today. We're going to talk a lot about program records, both milestones individually and overall, because a lot of program records are either set to be broken or have been broken already, which says a lot about how this team has played this year. But before we get too deep into it, Coach, Senior Day, 3 seniors, Drew Blodgett, Tommy Bice, Trey DeLory, playing their final regular season home game today, leaving the program after the season. This is really sort of your last class of people, correct?
Yeah, these are the last 3, including Ryan Mosher, who came back as a grad student that I actually coached. There's the whole junior class are kids that I recruited, but I just didn't get the opportunity to actually coach them.
So 3 seniors, and we'll get into their specifics in a moment as Senior Day will take place in just a couple of minutes. Coach, quickly just on Franklin Pierce, you were talking to Coach Jernander earlier. Program when they were last in here had no wins. Now they have 1 win. A lot of turnover, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. A program building toward the future, but having a tough year right now. But they've played better.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, being a pro like that he is, like he gets it. He understands. He's been through it as a player. He's been through it as a coach, the ups and downs, and it just has a little different flavor, with the college piece, because you're dealing with admissions, kids liking your school. It's not like that, right? At the pro level, especially if you're connected with a team like the Rangers, you need somebody. You can sell them on the fact that this is a good player. They'll go out and get him for you. Whereas, having lived it and the way it works with no scholarship money in Division II for men's ice hockey, there's a lot of work involved to sell yourself, your program, your school, and find the right fit as a human first and foremost, and then you want that to be the player you want as well. So there's a lot of moving parts, and he's got a great demeanor about him, and a calmness and purpose. So I think he'll do well.
Teams getting ready to take the ice against Senior Day ceremonies. Last year we had 8 seniors graduate, should we say, leave the program. This year only 3 at the moment.
Yep.
Good year for Post overall. Again, if they win today, they'll tie the program record for wins in a season. Still have an opportunity to break that record as well, because they still have another regular season game plus at least one playoff game, wherever that may be. So we will have Coach Richter after today's game, win, lose, or draw, for sort of a state of the program like we did last year. If the Eagles win today, we'll also have a player interview, but we'll have Coach Richter for sort of state of the program after today's game today. Here, the home finale against Franklin Pierce this afternoon. Teams have taken the ice as we get ready for Senior Day. And, Coach, just some comments as we roll through the seniors here. So, first of all, Drew Blodgett, who was the starter for most of the last couple of years, has sort of been usurped by Ben Cunine, who's had an excellent season. We'll get into him in a little bit, but this is really Drew's day. He's the first senior. He's played 50 games. That's second all-time in program history behind assistant coach Brandon Brown. He's got over 2,200 minutes of playing time, 7 wins in goal with the program. He is tied for 4th most single-season games played and started with 20. 4th all-time for single-season goals against at .394. 4th in single-season wins. 5th in single-season save percentage. In his career, he will finish with the 2nd most games played, games started, minutes played, save percentage, and 2nd lowest goals against average as it currently stands. Drew from Lowell, Massachusetts, and one of the captains of the team, Coach Drew Blodgett, who has been a great teammate this year. Again, really having lost playing time to Ben Cunine, who's been great, but Drew has been great the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, they have a gem of a human being with him, and I don't think there's been a stronger goaltending tandem really in the history of the program. And a lot of that is Drew is, those goaltenders, they tend to form a bond with each other if things are happening correctly as they should, which means you get the right people. And Drew is that guy. Drew is the most supportive person and works as hard as anybody in practice. And when he gets the nod, he comes up and he shows up and he plays. And he's excited, I think, to graduate. It's such a melancholy kind of feeling sometimes. Like, you're excited about it, but then you're like, what's next?
Absolutely.
Right? So, just a great human being and a great player. Can't say enough about him. They're lucky to have him at the university as one of the captains.
Tommy Bice now being honored, the senior out of Holland, Michigan. Coach, he's playing today. If he plays tomorrow and he plays in the playoff game, he'll break the all-time program record for games played by Jack Engdahl. He's at 108 right now. The program record is 109. He, in his career, 7 goals, 26 assists, 33 points overall going into today. Tommy's had a solid career. He started off as a forward and moved to a defenseman last season. Again, another assistant captain and just a great teammate, being able to move from forward to defenseman and not say a word about it.
Yeah, Tommy actually was a defenseman for quite a bit of his junior career. Started as a forward there, I think, too, then played D. And I just loved his ability to see the ice and just a really good hockey IQ and play anywhere you want and just, wherever you need me, that's where I'll play. And to his credit, he's been in all those games to potentially set that record, which I hope he does get. Speaks volumes. And I'm pretty sure he wants to get into coaching when he graduates, so that's pretty exciting too.
And then finally, Coach, the captain, Trey Delory, who has been a stalwart on the blue line for the Eagles over the last 4 years. 4 goals, 25 assists, 29 total points in his 88-game career. He currently holds the single-season record for block shots and has dismantled the career record of block shots with 124. He's got 48 this season. We had him up here for an interview a couple of games ago, but a great player and defenseman and excellent captain for the Eagles coach, Trey Delory.
Yeah, I loved when I was recruiting him. I wanted that big defenseman. The fit was great between him liking the school, us loving him, and you can see how difficult he is to play against. He has an offensive upside. He always had a great ability to see kind of those seams, get pucks through into the net, get him that area, rattle around there, maybe somebody bang in a rebound. So he's been great on both ends, and again, another really, really great leader for this university.
Those are the seniors. Starting lineups brought to you by Post University, offering online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. It's application season, and as always for you, Post is personal. For more information on all the Post degree programs, to visit campus, take a tour, or apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. For the visitors from Franklin Pierce, 123-2 on the season. Jeremy Connor, the junior, out of Hazlet, New Jersey, is in goal, 1-5 overall, 3.96 goals against average, and an .897 save percentage. His defensive combination is senior Wyatt DeLeese, their captain, 5'10", 170 out of York, Maine, and Ryan Dutcher, 6 foot 185 freshman out of Milford, Massachusetts. On left wing is Brendan Spinelli, senior from Canton, Massachusetts. Nick Fish, the center sophomore from Ashland, Michigan, and Nicholas Tessier, sophomore, 195, 5'11", out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. The head coach in season 1 is Ken Jernander, the former Hartford Wolfpack captain. For the Eagles, in goal, Drew Blodgett, the senior out of Lowell, Massachusetts, 3.28 goals against average, .907 save percentage, 1-5 on the season. His defensive combination is Trey Delory, the captain, out of Andover, New Hampshire, 6'5", 180. Tommy Weiss, the other defenseman, 6 foot 200, out of Holland, Michigan, and will complete the the starting lineups after the national anthem. Our national anthem here this afternoon. Just completing the Eagles starting lineup. On left wing will be Mateo Pekka, 5'8", 160 out of Bolton, Ontario. Scotty Swain will play center, the freshman from Baltimore, Maryland, 5'8", 165. And on right wing, Ryan Mosher, 5'9", 140, the senior out of Queensbury, New York. Head coach in year 3, Tim Richter. Assistant coaches Andy DeAngelis and Brandon Brown. Eagles 10-14 on the season. 7-10, 0-1-1 in the NE10, and I've paid off all the NASA engineers, and they have broken down the NE10 standings for me in a way that everybody can read and understand. And we'll go through that in the second intermission this afternoon. As we mentioned a few moments ago, we'll have Tim Richter after the game, win, lose, or draw. And if the Eagles win today, we'll have a player interview, as we usually do here on Senior Day. Crowd filing in on a Friday afternoon. Celebrate Drew Blodgett, Trey Delory, and Tommy Weiss, Eagle 3 seniors here today, all in the starting lineup. Eagles need this win. As we mentioned, win both games in regulation today here, tomorrow at Franklin Pierce, 5:30 puck drop there, and then have either St. Mike's or Assumption, who are playing each other today and tomorrow, one of them lose both games. Face off at center, Scotty Swain and Nick Fish in the draw, and underway we are here. We thank you for joining us wherever you are on campus, around the state, across the country, or around the world, here on the CACC Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles for NE10 hockey action here on a Friday afternoon on a frigid, cold day here in the Northeast. Snow in the forecast come the weekend. Puck inside the Eagle zone, and Delory wipes it away to Pekka. Pekka gets to the red line, dumps it in. Eagles go off on a change. It ends up going on goal to Connor, and Mosher takes a shot off the side of the net. After Connor struggled to control it, back to the point. Rieger to Kennedy. Kennedy looking toward it and sends a shot right on, stopped by Connor. Kicked into the corner, and the puck dumped high in the air and all the way down the ice. This should be icing early on, as Eagles get a couple shots on Jeremy Connor, the junior out of Hazlet, New Jersey. Again, 1-5 on the season, 3.96 goals against average, and an .897 save percentage. Face off to his left. 45 seconds in the period number one. Face off won by Franklin Pierce. Puck rimmed around the wall to Tessier. Tessier gets it out of the zone, but turned it over to Joe Santoro, the hero on Friday night up at Assumption, as he got the game winner in overtime. At that moment, the Eagles were in fourth place, but with the win by Assumption, they moved themselves back up to fourth place. Tessier tries to get it out. Good check there by the Eagles. Finally does get it out up to Austin Pick. Pick tries to center it in front. He found a player. It was the defenseman Branish, and then in front Blodgett makes another save, and Branish just missed the net. Again, defenseman pinching down for Franklin Pierce. We talked about this in the last game where the Eagles defeated Franklin Pierce 3-1. Their defensemen pinch more than we see on the average D here in the NE10. Then a backhand shot by Pick, stopped by Blodgett, and the puck dumped out to center. Austin Pick, the junior out of Troutdale, Oregon, is the NE10 leader in shorthanded goals with 3. Over the line comes Franklin Pierce again. Here's McGuire. McGuire toward the net, and Blodgett makes the save there. 1:49 into period one, and Franklin Pierce with a couple of opportunities. Austin Pick setting up Todd Branish, who just missed an open net.
Yeah, some quality saves by Drew early on here. You want to feel the puck, but you'd like to kind of ease into it, but that was trial by fire right there.
We talked about it last time they were in, Coach, and we talk about it now. They're a very young team, this Franklin Pierce team. Coach Hernandez really turned over the roster in a lot of ways. Their defense is on the smaller side, and the Eagles put a lot of body on Franklin Pierce in the last game because of the size differential, but Franklin Pierce held in here at the Sports Center in the 3-1 win a couple of weeks ago. But a young team who got the taste of winning finally and feels like they can play against anybody right now.
Yeah, I mean, they beat that Assumption team at home. It was 6-3, I think, the final there. Then they got a tie since then. So, right now they're playing their best hockey of the season.
Pervolotis on the draw against Jacob Howell to the left of Connor. Won by Pervolotis behind the net to Christou. Christou tried to rim it up the board to get stopped by Bolak. Bolak rimmed it around to the far side. 4 players fighting for it. McDevitt gives to Howell. Howell goes back to the point to the captain, Delory. Delory makes a move, goes down the wall, then chips it into the corner to McDevitt. McDevitt gets checked off. It comes back to Delory. Delory sends it back to the point to Glassrud. Glassrud, long shot from the point, looking for a deflection. It just goes wide. Puck comes all the way to the near side, out and down for another icing as Glassrud goes back to touch.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that Post can exploit. They've got more than a couple of centers that are very consistent with the face-off wins. So that's something that we want to look here in the offensive zone when they do get the opportunity, winning those draws and gaining some zone time.
O'Connell and Bice, the defense pair, but out come Franklin Pierce in over the line. Dumping it is Pagnani. Pagnani picks it up on the near side, though. Tries to center it out in front. It goes off the side of the net. Rimmed all the way around by Howell. Kept in momentarily on a deflection off a leg as a long shot taken by DeLeese. Went off the leg in front of Matthew Frett, the freshman out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Eagles manage to clear, and the puck now inside the Ravens zone. Puck comes out to center, bouncing around and taken away by Pekka. Pekka then turned it over to Dutcher, and Dutcher dumps it in on Blodgett, who kicks it into the near side corner. Tommy Bice does a good job holding up, not drilling Arcillo into the wall, because that would have been a penalty. Puck right here in the near side corner being fought for. Mosher tries to chip it up the wall. Good play by Fret to keep it in. 6 players right here in front of us on the half wall inside the Eagle zone. Tommy Bice comes away with it. He takes a big hit by Mitchell. Mosher tries to get it up the wall. He turns it over, sent right back in by Fret. Mosher again, nice pass to go behind himself to Bice. Bice will go up in the air and out to center, which will give the Eagles an opportunity to make a change, particularly of their defense core, and the puck inside the Ravens zone. Pass up here to Mitchell, goes off his stick, given to Owen Rieger. Rieger gives to Kennedy. Kennedy, the leader in play for NE10 freshman of the year. He leads the NE10 in plus minus at plus 12 and is first in freshman assists with 14. Ravens have the puck, bring it into their zone. Dumps it in, stolen by Rieger. Rieger goes behind Blodgett, tries to avoid the check of Nick Fish, and here comes the Eagles out of the zone with Meyer. Meyer dumps it down. Rieger chases after it. Rieger tries to center it in front. It goes off a leg. Played by Baxter Kimball. Now Rieger comes away with it again, tries to poke out in front, had it chopped off his stick. And behind the net comes Fish. Fish. Pass out to Tessier. Tessier had it checked off his stick, never got it into the zone. Now Kimball looking for Santoro, rolls off his stick. And Meyer plays it at center. Meyer tries to dump it in, takes an elbow into the face mask. Doesn't look like any penalties will be called, and he struggles to get up. But good play inside the zone as Norling holds it inside the Ravens zone. Down goes Murray on a flyby. Puck still inside the Ravens zone. Norling fighting for it, being checked hard by Parker. Eagles keep it in with a centering pass in front, but stolen by Parker, who turned it over, never got it out of the zone. Now Deloria, a long shot that gets deflected, stopped by Connor. It looked like Murray got a stick on it, but Connor had to make a save, and the puck sent into the Franklin Pierce bench as Coach Ken Jernander ducking. 5-12 into period number 1, no score. Teams feeling each other out, Coach. Each had a couple of shots, but sloppy play early.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Post is a skilled team, and they skate well, so they just need to compose themselves and rely on puck possession and kind of chip away. And it seems like there's a little bit of nerves there, but that should dissipate.
Glasser tries to get it out, didn't, but then finally did get it out. Norling and Pick in somewhat of a collegiate wrestling match at center ice. No penalties. They seem to have gotten off each other. Delory rims it around the wall, gets deflected by McMains, who's got a goal in each of the last 2 Eagle games. And here's McDevitt over the line. McDevitt with a shot. Stopped right on by Connor as McDevitt tried to use the defenseman as a screen from the top of the far circle. And Connor swallowed it whole. 5:44 into period number 1. Coach, just quick on Bradley McMains, the freshman out of South Portland, Maine. Goals in each of his last 2 games, his first 2 career goals. Really seems to be picking up his play.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point where players feel comfortable and things just kind of fall into place. And for him, that's happened as of late. So you'd like to see that continue, and good for him.
Dutcher inside the Ravens zone tries to get it out, but Bice gloves it down, sends it right back into the other side, where Holden Beckett tries to play at it, and there's a whistle behind the play. That
hand pass, maybe?
Hand pass, maybe? No? Well, I'm a little perplexed. Maybe it went off somebody on the bench. That's the only thing I can think of in the Franklin Pierce zone. But face off to the right of Jeremy Connor. Howell and Pervolodis on the draw. One by Howell. Kept in by O'Connell. Dumps it into the near side corner. McDevitt riding off Dutcher in that corner as the Eagles try to get to the puck. Beckett down there as well. Beckett comes away with it. Beckett centers it out in front off the leg of Jacob Howell. And into Connor for a save. Nice play there by Beckett to center it out in front, but didn't get on the stick of Howell, went off his leg, and Connor makes the save.
Yeah, winning draws in the offensive zone is going to be very important for Post in this game, just because they are such a skilled team that winning those draws will give them that zone time.
Santoro won the faceoff, but a little too clean for everybody's liking. Santoro currently 3rd in the NE10 in faceoff winning percentage. Won that too clean for everybody's liking against freshman Matthew Fred, who's now been tossed from the draw. Giovanni Ursello in there, and Santoro wins it anyway, and a shot off the faceoff taken by Kimball right on. Now Kimball gets it back again right in the slot area, but it fanned on his shot. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy tried to find Santoro, but sort of split the baby between Santoro and Kimball, and the Ravens able to come out with it and dump it into the Eagle zone. Kennedy behind his own net avoids the bigger hit, gets it up to Kimball, gets it out of the zone, and Dutcher will play at center. Dutcher feeds it up to Spinelli. Spinelli turned it over to Kennedy, who gives to Rieger. Rieger to Meyer. Meyer to Santoro over the line with a fancy little move. Goes to the backhand on the far side. Looks back to Kennedy, but turned it over. And back come the Ravens. 2-on-1 in over the line. Here comes Tessier. Tessier holds, waits, centered it, but it deflects off the body of a sliding Owen Rieger. And the Ravens did not get a good shot off there on the 2-on-1 as Tessier and Spinelli came down 2-on-1. Good play by Rieger, though, as no shot on goal there. 7 minutes gone in period 1. No score here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Fish tries to break the check of McMains. McMains' stick is in Fish's body. They finally let go of each other, and the puck inside the Eagle zone. Delory tries to spin away from a check from Tessier. Gives it to Spinelli, though. Spinelli turned it over to McMains, and out come the Eagles again on a 2-on-1. Here's Norling. Norling, though, lost the puck as it rolls into the corner. Tried to center it out in front to Murray. Went off a leg and spindled away with it, and out of the zone comes Sterling. Sterling gives to Spinelli. Spinelli dumps it in. He goes off on a line change. Glassroot avoids the check from Sterling. Gives it to Delory with time and space. Looking for Norling a little bit too far. And turned it over at center. But then offsides are the Ravens as Sterling touched the puck inside the Eagle zone. That's John Sterling, the sophomore out of Centerville, Virginia. 13 points on the year. He's second on the team in score, or third on the team in scoring, excuse me.
Yeah, for Franklin Pierce to be successful, they're going to have to settle down the puck a little bit and outnumber, I think, as they attack post. They did a better job last time here of taking away the neutral zone. Right now, Post is getting through that neutral zone very easily, which is something that Pierce is going to have to shore up, and Post has just got to keep doing it, take what they give you.
And sometimes statistics don't always tell the story, Coach. Franklin Pierce this season scored 57 goals as a team. The Eagles have scored 51.
Yeah.
The Eagles have only given up 64 goals as a team, which is the NE10 lead. Franklin Pierce has given up 120.
Yeah.
So sometimes stats tell the story on the defensive side, but don't really tell the story on the offensive side. And obviously something that Coach Jernander will look to fix in the coming seasons.
Yeah, and honestly, as a coach, I'd rather work on my defensive play because I know that that's purposeful and systematic and things I can work on. But scoring touch is much more difficult to try to work on and create.
Sterling in over the line on left wing, being watched by Tommy Bice. He goes for the backhand to try to center it in front, but stolen away by Swain. Good job by the Ravens to keep it in the zone as Parker lost it though to Mosher, and here's Mosher at center. Mosher got stick checked though by Christou. Eagles changing behind him, almost too many men on the ice for the Eagles, but they avoid it by not touching the puck. And now Madzi inside his own zone with a long pass ahead off Kennedy. Offsides though is Paganani, so he's got to go retouch, and the Eagles will have a moment to try to get it out of their own zone as Rieger. Nice long pass here to Bolak. Bolak couldn't control it though. Right in front of us here, just outside the Eagle line. Bolak, though, turns away with it and gives it to Howell. Howell dumps it in, tries to go around DeLeese. He'll chase after it, but good job by Dutcher to cut off the angle. Rim it around all the way to the other side, but good play by Kennedy to keep it in. Kennedy dumped it in, turned it over. Good step in by Rieger to steal it. Rieger comes in with a wrist shot that's gloved by Connor. As Rieger did a good job to keep it in, closed in between the two circles and ripped the wrist shot. Didn't get all of it, though, and Connor makes the glove save with 9:16 to go in the first period.
Yeah, that was a good play by Post there. The defender for Franklin Pierce kind of cheated, tried to reach and tried to pick the puck and found himself out of the play, which allowed that grade A scoring opportunity for Post.
Ursello and Howell on the draw, a couple of number 9s, won by the Eagles. Howell tries to McDevitt tries to spin off the check of McGuire. Looked to spindle it in, but the Eagles keep it in now. Howell, a shot from a bad angle, stopped by Connor, and the Ravens will dump it all the way down the ice. It should be an icing. Let's see if Delory lets it go, and he does. He might have been able to play that before the line, but a wise old sage of a senior defenseman let it roll to the line to get the icing. I say old sage, he's like 25 years younger than I am. Meyer, Santoro, and Kimball out for the Eagles. Face-off won, though, by Franklin Pierce. Now behind the net, Kimball fighting for it, trying to come away with it. He manages to get a step. Meyer in there to help out. Pops back to the point. Glassroot does a good job to pinch in. Spinorama shot by Santoro gets blocked, and the Ravens come out of the zone. Breaking in over the line is Branish. Branish likes to step up on the play. Tried to center it in front. It goes off Glassroot's 6'7" body behind the net where Santoro will play it to Kimball. Kimball tries to get it out and just does, and then Branish sends it right back in. Branish, sophomore out of Littleton, Colorado. 7 points on the season, but does a lot of stepping up. He did that a lot in the last game here in Shelton, and he's doing it today. He had a wide open net early in the period on a 2-on-1. And then what may be a slashing penalty behind the play with 9:43 to go in the first period. I think the Eagles will go to the man advantage. As Sam Mitchell is going to get 2 for slashing at 10-17. That sends the Eagles to the power play, where they are 6 for 84 on the season. That's 7.1%. Franklin Pierce on the penalty kill, 73 for 97, 75.3%. Needless to say, special teams are not good for either team, as Franklin Pierce last on the penalty kill, Eagles last on the power play. Rieger, center point, gives to Swain. Nice little touch pass down behind the net to Norling, goes back to Swain. Swain in the slot to Meyer with a one-timer rebound, picked up by in front. It lay there as it bounces through the creases. Deloria pinched down, and now back goes Franklin Pierce the other way, 2-on-1. Coming in over the line with a shot that gets deflected was Nick Fish. As the Eagles had a nice setup, Deloria took a shot, that puck bounced in the crease. Eagles couldn't control, but Franklin Pierce came back 2-on-1, and Nick Fish, the sophomore out of Ashland, Massachusetts, had an opportunity. Got deflected in over the net.
Yeah, I think it's important that on that penalty kill that the guys up top for post aren't complacent and really know where everyone is, because I think Franklin Pierce has the ability to score some shorthanded goals.
As we mentioned, Austin Pick, number 8 for Franklin Pierce, leads the NE10 in shorthanded goals with 3. He's out there on the ice right now with John Sterling. Here comes Baxter Kimball. He's tied for the NE10 lead in power play goals with 4. Believe it or not, the Eagles have 6 power play goals, and Kimball has 4 of them, tying him for the NE10 lead. Ravens, though, dump it down the ice, and Blodgett will set it up for Aiden Kennedy with 9 minutes to go in the first and 1:15 to go on the Eagles' first power play of the game in a scoreless draw so far. Looking for Santoro, goes off Santoro's stick into the air inside the Ravens zone. Nice job by Tommy Bice to keep it in and stolen away. Here's a breakaway opportunity for Branish. Branish walking in, shoots, stopped by Blodgett. He got the body and then it went off the post. And Blodgett makes a big save. And again, we talked about Todd Branish stepping up on the play, the defenseman out of Littleton, Colorado. Blodgett making a big save there on a shorthanded breakaway with some help from the post. And the game remains scoreless. Here's Murray. Over the line on a Santoro pass. He's checked by McGuire. Murray comes away with it, though. Goes toward the net. Centered it in front of Kennedy. A one-time shot, but he didn't get much of it. And stopped in front by Connor. Here's Kennedy again. Kennedy holding. Gives it down on the goal line. Santoro goes across to Murray. Back to Kennedy, center point. Tried to fake the shot more so than anything. Had it roll off a stick and then dumped it into the corner. Santoro got spun off. Puck rimmed all the way around and kept in by Tommy Bice. Bice dumps it to Kimball. Kimball looking for Murray, but the only players there were Ravens. And out they come with 10 seconds left on a man advantage. In over the line is Sterling. Sterling trying to get around Delory. Delory missed the hit. Tried to center in front, but nobody there but Bolak for the Eagles. And now they're 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Bolak looking for McDevitt. Eagles with a couple of good opportunities, just weren't able to get anything by Connor. And then stolen inside the zone. Here comes Bolak in over the line with a backhand shot. Stopped right on by Connor. Rebound pumped away by Spinelli. Spinelli tries to go beyond 2 defensemen at center. He gets double hit by Glassroot and McDevitt. Turned the puck over after dumping it in, and here comes Howell the other way. Howell, a long cross-ice pass to McDevitt. McDevitt spins on his opposing number, looks to give it down to Glassroot. Glassroot looks to center it in front. He did, but threw everybody in. A one-timer by Rieger in front. Right pad save by Connor, as I think Howell might have gotten a stick on that one, but Rieger one-timed it from the top of the circle, blue line area. And with 7:05 to go in the first, still no score, but Coach, the best 2 shots on the power play were by Franklin Pierce on the 2-on-1 and then the breakaway by Branish.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I say, they're a dangerous team. You can't look at a record when you play a team like this, because these guys are in every game and they'll give you everything they have. Post If they can keep moving that puck east-west, they're going to open up some opportunities for themselves, however.
Rieger trying to keep it in. He does nicely to Pekka, who takes the shot that just goes wide. Behind the net, Swain trying to play the puck. Spins away by Dutcher. Dutcher tries to rim it up the wall. Nice pinch in by Rieger. Good job there by Beckett to keep it in. So the Eagles keeping it in. This was one of the things from the last game, too. There was a lot of turnovers just inside the blue line in the last game. And that's happening right now again as Dutcher for Franklin Pierce tries to get it out of the zone. This time they do, and a nice long streaking pass to Paganani. Paganani tries to center it in front. It goes off the stick of Pervolodis. He spindles it around the boards to the far side where Dutcher has it. Dutcher gives back to Paganani. Behind the net, Dutcher tries to center, but two Eagles there. And Rieger takes it, dumps it all the way down in the middle of the ice. Past Sterling, that allows the Eagles to go full five-man line change while Sterling plays it inside his own zone. Long pass up to King. First time we said his name today, the freshman out of Malone, New York. Gives a quick pass up here to McGuire. McGuire on the far side takes a shot toward the net that gets deflected into the netting in the near side corner inside the Eagle zone. And the faceoff will be to Drew Blodgett's left. His final home game, his final regular season home game. Again, still some things to be decided related to playoffs and whether we're back here on Tuesday for round one of the NE10 playoffs.
Yeah, Post needs to, in the defensive zone, they need to close their gaps up a bit. They're allowing too many opportunities for Franklin Pierce. They're giving him a little bit too much time, too much space right now.
Just like on that play, Coach, Sterling won the faceoff, found Pick. Pick walked out, took a little wrist shot from the rim of the far circle, and Blodgett makes the save there.
Yeah, you got to get on your horse and get right out there when that puck's dropped, if that's your responsibility.
Santoro and Sterling to the left of Blodgett. Well, Sterling's been tossed, so now it'll be Kimball and Sterling to the left. One ultimately by Sterling, back to the point to McGuire, who rimmed it around the boards. From far to near, Meyer tries to come out with it. Meyer just spent some time in Italy. Has the puck, chipped it up ahead to Kimball. Kimball over the line, looks back for Meyer. Branish tries to wipe it out of the zone, kept in by O'Connell. He rimmed it around the boards. Meyer now on the near side. Fakes going behind the net. Comes up the half wall looking to go back to Bice. He gets checked by two Ravens. They go high in the air and the puck goes out the center. O'Connell. Long pass into the middle, stolen by Pick, and here comes Austin Pick. In, over the line, spins away on the far side, checked by O'Connell, but the puck was left there, and Bice came back to help out, and he feeds Jonathan Meyer. Meyer, the freshman out of Sweden, as we said, just played over there in Italy in the World University Games. Had a couple of goals while over there. Got some international experience, did Jonathan Meyer. It's funny, when he left, he scored the overtime winner, then went to Italy for a couple weeks, and now is back. But good international experience for him as he continues to grow as a freshman in the program.
Yeah, that'll only pay dividends there in the world of maturity.
Santoro and Fret on the draw. Santoro wins that one. Glassrud in the Zamboni corner, checked by two Ravens. Ursello comes out with it, goes back to the point, rimmed around as Christou looking for a stick anywhere. It comes from far to near. Played by Fret behind the net, then stolen by Glassrud. Here's Norling. Norling looking for Meyer. Comes right back into the Eagle zone. Eagles will touch back up. The Ravens will touch back up, and Norling plays it inside his own zone to Murray. Murray looking for Norling. Glassrud did a good job with that 6'7" frame to stick it out the center. And Glassrud will try again as it gets sent right back in with 4:30 to go in period one. Still no score. McMains trying to find the puck, bouncing off his body, off his leg, off his arm. Still trying to get it. He's gone all the way across the ice. Finally, the puck got sent by the Ravens back to Glassrud, who feeds to Captain Delory. Trey Delory, his final regular season game, the program leader in block shots, currently at 124, and both all-time and in a season, as he's got 48, but the icing waved off as Christou will play it behind his own net and send it D-to-D, and a long pass too far for Spinelli, so no icing on the Ravens side of the ice, but an icing on the Eagles side of the ice, and that'll send the puck back into the Ravens zone with 3:54 to go in the first.
Yeah, again, a win on the draw here. Move it up, move it across. Get someone slashing through that crosshairs of the spot between the dots there, and that could be a good scoring opportunity.
Howell wins it to Bolak. Bolak tried to go back to Kennedy at the point. It got deflected. Howell keeps it in and rims it around the boards from near to far. Bolak trying to play it on the far side half wall in front of the bench. Lost it, and the puck dumped all the way into the Eagle zone. Rieger spins away nicely from the check of Spinelli. Looked for McDevitt, but it ended up out the center, and it dumps right back in. Kennedy across the ice to Rieger. Rieger long pass, got off the stick of Bolak, so no icing. McDevitt chasing in, lays a big hit out on Dutcher. Puck comes free on the half wall inside the Raven zone. Spindled it back to Tessier, trying to look for Dutcher. Eagles, though, doing a good job of forechecking. Howell in there with McDevitt. McDevitt using that size and body to come out the other side. Now in the near side corner, he's being ridden by DeLeese. And then a big giant hit that's going to lead to a penalty as Max Bolak took out a Franklin Pierce player on the half wall. I don't know if that was retaliation, mistimed, or anger, but at 17:03, Bolak's going to get 2 for, I'm going to guess, we're going to go boarding on that one at 17:03.
Yeah, unnecessary play. Again, that's one of the things that have been an issue for the Eagles all season, averaging over 15 minutes penalties a game.
So Franklin Pierce 8 for 97 on the power play this season, 8.2%. The Eagles on the penalty kill 63 for 83, 80.6%. That's fifth in the NE10. So both penalty and power play are fifth. And again, as struggles have the Eagle power play this season, Franklin Pierce is not much better. As Pick goes back to Sterling. Sterling cruising, going from right to left, now down low behind the goal line, goes behind the net. Sterling gives to Pick. Pick goes back to Branish. Down into the Zamboni corner of the Sterling, goes back to Branish, top of the right point. And one-timer shot that didn't get all of it was Christou, and a stop by Blodgett. Sort of fanned on it more than anything. It was like a knuckleball slap shot. Blodgett made the save, and then the puck dumped all the way down the ice by O'Connell. Murray back there tried to take it away from Connor. Almost did, and back comes Sterling. Sterling, with Glassroot falling, comes back in over the line. Sterling, center to left. Near side corner, spins away, comes back to the point to Branish on the left side. Sterling tries to keep it in, does, gives to Branish, who cruises down top of the near circle. Now in front with a little backhand chip was Parker. It popped up in the air. Sterling gloved it down. Eagles trying to get it out. Kimball fighting hard, and he finally does, gets it out the center. With 1:41 to go in the first period and 40 seconds remaining on the first power play for Franklin Pierce. Still no score in this hockey game. Puck dumped around the boards. Delory tries to chip it all the way out. Good job by Santoro, get in the way of McGuire and take the puck as well. Santoro spins off 3 Franklin Pierce Raven players to keep the puck pinned inside their zone momentarily, and out comes McGuire. McGuire, pass on right wing, looking for Fish, who dumped it into the Eagle bench with 17 seconds remaining on the man advantage and 1:14 to go in the first period.
Yeah, it's one pane of glass short right there.
Stay with us in the first intermission. We'll go around the post-university sports scene. Big win for the Lady Eagle hockey program today upstairs as they set a program record for wins in a season, as well as the all-time scoring record on the women's side broken by Julia Wysocki, but we'll get into that. Big 3-2 win today upstairs for the Eagles. The Lady Eagles, should I say. Rimmed around, King tried to do it, but Howell send it back to the point. Then a long shot deflected just wide and behind the net as the puck pumps high in the air. A minute to go in the first period. Power play has expired as DeLeese tried to pinch in, and here comes Howell. Howell trying to race to the puck, takes a big hit by Fish. Goes high in the air. Bolak now out of the box. Fish has it in the near side corner in the Raven zone, whips it to DeLeese. DeLeese takes a big hit by Bolak, who laid an equally heavy hit, and now McDevitt had the puck roll off his stick. Here's King. King stolen by McDevitt, dumped it behind Connor. Played by DeLeese in the near side corner of the Raven zone. Long pass up ahead to Paganani. Paganani brings it in, taken down by McMains. No call there. Bice spins away from the check of Fret. Leaves it for Murray with 20 seconds, and here's Howell. Howell to Murray. Murray brings it in over the line on left wing, leaves for McMains. McMains with a shot toward the net that gets blocked in front, never gets to Connor. Then rebound in front, one bang at it, stolen away, brought out of the zone by Fret. Good job by Connor to make the save there. Spinelli goes across the ice with 3. One last shot toward the net, deflects high in the air, and that'll end period number 1. We'll see if the officials want to add a little bit of time to the clock. If they do, it'll be minimal. Let's see. Nope, doesn't look like it, and that's the end of the first period. No score, Coach. Not the prettiest of first periods here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, but no score this afternoon.
Yeah, no, Post, I think, senior nights can be an interesting night. I mean, I know there's only 3 seniors, but, I think they got to be focused on the game. It almost looks as though they're worried about the points, which seems odd to say, right, when you're just watching a game. But just the affect is not an attack mode. It's more of let's not make a mistake mode. And you don't want to play that way against a team like Franklin Pierce. Franklin Pierce, probably the last half, maybe third of that period, I think had the better play. They had some very good looks on their power play. They controlled pucks. They did some very good things. Post has really yet to use that skill and that attack that we've seen them use in the past.
That's the first period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. With the score, 0-0 is the score between Post and Franklin Pierce here this afternoon. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our look around the Post University sports scene here in the first intermission on senior night here on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where Franklin Pierce and Post are tied at 0-0 here this afternoon in the NE10 home finale, regular season finale for the Eagles. They'll be at Franklin Pierce tomorrow for Game 2 of the home and home. First period intermission, as we always do, go around the Post University sports scene, brought to you by Post University and 17 NCAA Division II athletic programs. From softball to hockey to football, there's something for everyone to enjoy, whether a student, parent, or a fan. For more information on Post University athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules, for all of Eagle team information, go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. Eagle fans, are you ready to update that closet, change your wardrobe, represent your Eagle fandom wherever you are, every day, every way, and everywhere? Whether you're walking around campus, rocking it in the nest, in the neighborhood, on vacation, or even out with that special someone. Remember, Valentine's Day is today, so if you haven't gotten your special someone anything yet, go to posteagles.com, click on the right-hand corner, and find the school store app and purchase your Post Eagle gear. Use the code PRIDE25, P-R-I-D-E 25, between now and Monday, February 17th at checkout to receive 25% off your order of $100 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's PRIDE25, and that code expires on Monday, February 17th. You can also visit the campus store and the Lever Student Center on campus. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. As I mentioned during the first period, we'll start with the Lady Eagle hockey program, who had a big win today upstairs against LIU, 3-2. Rowan Ringer opened the scoring in the first period. 12 seconds later, Julia Wysocki, the all-time leader in points and goals in the season and overall for the Eagles, as she continues to extend her record that she broke yesterday, scored at 12 seconds after Ringer opened the scoring to make it 2-0. Then Karis Kell, 42 seconds into the second period, gave the Eagles a 3-0 lead. LIU mounted a furious comeback, getting 2 goals, 1 in the second and 1 in the third. But the Eagles held strong and picked up their program record-tying 10th win of the season. But as a Division I program, it is the record for most wins in a season with 10 today against LIU. Angeline Pitter, 3 assists this afternoon. Rowan Ringer, a goal and an assist. And again, Julia Wysocki, her 17th goal of the season. With the win, the Eagles move to 33 points. 33 points in the NEWHA standings. 10, 12, and 3 overall in the NEWHA, and 10, 18, and 3 overall with that record. They have 33 points. They're 6 in the NEWHA. They have a 6-point lead over 7th place Assumption. Assumption does have 2 games in hand on the Lady Eagles. They'll play one of those games tonight and then one of those games tomorrow. Those will be the 2 games in hand before both teams finish up their regular seasons next week. The Eagles will be at 2nd place Sacred Heart Friday and Saturday next week. The road game on Friday down in Fairfield and the home game on Saturday here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Eagles have a 6-point lead on Assumption. They have 2 games remaining, so they control their own destiny for the 6th seed. Barring a miracle, they're not going to be able to get up to the 5 seed. And again, there's going to be too many situations to where they could do it. But they're going to be on the road in the first round against either Stonehill, Franklin Pierce, or St. A's after next weekend. Everybody will have a better picture of what that looks like. If they somehow fall to 7th, they might play LIU again, who they just beat, or Sacred Heart in the first round. But Assumption's going to have to win out, at least win 3 of the 4, and Post is going to have to lose both of their games against Sacred Heart next weekend, who they played well against down in Fairfield. In addition, in the NEWHA in January, the Athletes of the Month have been honored, and Julie Wysocki was named Player of the Month for the NEWHA in January. She's had a stellar season, scored 8 times in January, and had 2 assists for 10 points in 9 games. The senior finished the month with a +9 on ice rating and scored 2 goals in 3 straight games. Wysocki recorded a .8 of the 9 games played, helping the Eagles to a 5-4 record in January, their best ever record in the month of January. So congratulations to Julia Wysocki, the NEWHA Player of the Month in January. The NEWHA Freshman of the Month is Rowan Ringer, the freshman out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. She did a little bit of everything in those 9 games in January. She had 3 goals and 7 assists for 10 points. And was a +10, and scored 6 points in the last 9 games of the month of January for the Lady Eagles. Had a very successful month of January. Congratulations to them as they continue to grow. Again, 2 games left to set the program record for wins at the Division I level. They have 10 now with 2 games remaining, and then a 3-game playoff series as the Eagles try to make it to the NCAA tournament in Division I women's hockey. On the lacrosse side, for the first time in program history, the men's lacrosse program have landed 2 players on the New England Intercollegiate Lacrosse Association's All-New England preseason team. Senior attacker Robbie McGrain and senior long stick midfielder James Sproul were named to the 2nd team for their respective positions as announced on Thursday. This is the 2nd consecutive season the Eagles have landed at least 1 player on the NEILA's All-New England preseason team, as Dylan Heald was named 2nd team last year. It's not a surprise, though, it's not a surprise for the Eagles, and not a surprise in particular for James Sproul, as he was named USA Lacrosse Magazine's preseason All-American honorable mention. While McGrain was a driving force on the offensive side for the Eagles last season. The season will get underway for the Eagles this coming Sunday as they face Deauville University at Lemoy Field for the 2025 home opener at 1 p.m., so that's tomorrow. Post is 2-0 all-time against the Saints, beating them by 10 or more goals in both of their matchups with came last season. So go up to Lemoy Field on Sunday. It should be a snowy Lemoy Field on Sunday for the home opener for the lacrosse program at 1 o'clock. That's your look around the post-university sports scene for a Friday afternoon here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We'll come back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post-University Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Jeff Nelson, Coach Pete Whitney with you here this afternoon. No score after one period of play between the Eagles and the Ravens here in NE10 conference action. Both teams 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Shots on goal in the first period, post 11. Franklin Pierce 6, but I'd say Franklin Pierce's shots were more high danger than post shots between those 11 and 6. Face-offs 12-10 for post in the first period. Overall, Coach, a sloppy period, I think, for both teams. Both Franklin Pierce had the better of the opportunities, hitting one post and having one breakaway in the first period. But you don't want to go down to a team who's got one win on the season when you need 2 wins to accomplish your goals.
No, Post needs to pick up the pace. They need to play with pace and tempo, getting pucks to the net, creating opportunities. They're a skilled team. They have to move their feet. They should be all over this team, and they need to attack, especially at home. You got to attack. You got to go after it. You got a playoff spot. You'd much rather play a game in your own barn, right, than you would get on a bus and travel. So certainly have a lot more to play for in that sense. So hopefully they talked it over between periods, and we'll see that in a second here.
That's kind of the crime of playing the early game on a Friday, is the two teams. Unfortunately, Post does not control its own destiny in the effort to get the 4 seed, but they're going to need to do their work here first and then go, at least one of those two teams is going to lose today, and whoever does will play forward to the next day, but the Eagles have to take care of their own business first. Again, 2 wins by the Eagles in regulation. At least one of them needs to be in regulation at this point. And then either Assumption or St. Michael's losing both games as they play each other tonight and tomorrow. That'll get the Eagles up to the 4 seed. Again, there are some different little other scenarios that we don't need to bore you with, but that's the simplest of solutions. Win your 2 games, have one of those 2 teams lose their 2 games, and you will get a home game on Tuesday. Eagles' only playoff game at home ever. Your last season, Coach, was against St. Mike's, and I know how much they like to make the trip from Vermont down here for a playoff game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the reality is playing this early game, and this can be to your advantage too, right? If you can come up out of here with 3 points, now you've got your opponents playing later on after you. They're going to be looking over their shoulders a little bit. So all of a sudden for them it becomes a must-win kind of situation. So there's a golden opportunity here for Post to go after this and come out of today with 3 points.
Yeah, those 2 teams are also playing for the 2 seed where Southern New Hampshire has right now. So these games are going to mean things as we go through the weekend. It's not like with one team wins and the other, they can tank and be happy. So those games are going to mean something. Second period underway. Eagles in their home whites going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Franklin Pierce going left to right in the Road Rays trimmed in white and blue as you look at your dial. Puck dumped. Tried to get out of the zone. Nice play by Rieger, who gloved it in and turned it over to Tessier, who tried to send a flying Spinelli, but stopped by Rieger again, sent in, stopped by Connor. And the Ravens trying to get it out of the zone, but turn it over as Kimball keeps it in, gives to Rieger. Rieger, center of the ice, tries to dump it down to Santoro, but too many Ravens in the way. Beckett played it, lost it, out to center. Now Rieger comes away with it. Rieger gives to Kimball, but rolled off his stick back to center, where Tessier tries to dump it into the Eagles' zone, but the Eagles doing a good job keeping the puck out of their zone. And then finally dumped into Drew Blodgett, and Murray fakes going around the boards to the far side, fake going to the near side, and ended up dumping it to the far side. Long pass ahead for Bolak, too far. This should be an icing, and it is. 1:11 into period number 2 on a Valentine's Day here in Shelton today in the second period. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there, all the parents, all the hockey moms in particular, who travel all over the place to take your hockey player to where they need to go. So happy Valentine's Day to you. Happy Valentine's Day to my wife, Tracy, who allows me to come here on a Valentine's Day and not take her out to dinner until Sunday. And happy Valentine's Day to your wife as well, Coach, on a Valentine's Day Friday.
It is that.
Puck tried to get poked out of the zone. Murray spindles it back to Kennedy. Kennedy makes a fancy little move to get it out to center. On a pass looking for McMains, but turned it over to Pick. Back comes Franklin Pierce the other way. Sterling looking for Pick, the stick of Pick, and it just goes wide, as that's an alliteration I tried to spit out. And here comes the Eagles the other way. Here's Norling, tried to center it for Murray as he was cruising down, as it ended up being a 2-on-1 inside the zone, but Bice and Murray take each other out. Now a 3-on-1 for the Ravens the other way. Give and go passing, but rolled off the stick of McGuire, as it seemed like the Ravens were passing it a little bit too much on that 2-on-1, and no shot there on their 2-on-1.
That's what Post needs to do. They need to play with that kind of pace. They're going to get opportunities if they can continue to do that.
Branish took a shot from right point, stopped by Blodgett, comes back to the other side, rimmed around all the way high and past Branish and out to center. He'll pick up the puck, look for a pass of Paganani, but that's going to go past him for an icing. And a break for the Eagles there, as they were scrambling a bit with 2:17 gone in period 2.
And you can see the difference when Post's feet are moving, they're playing with some sort of pace and tempo. It's difficult for Pierce to stay with them, and they're turning pucks over. So that's just something that they're going to have to find a way to grind that out and get that going.
Howell and Sterling to the left of Connor, won by Sterling. McDevitt tried to chip it up for Bolak. Puck pops high in the air off the boards. Howell kept it in momentarily and then gave it out to Glassroot at center. He'll send it back in as the Eagles tag up, rimmed around from near to far. Branish makes a bad pass in front, but McDevitt fell as he tried to spin and shoot. And back the other way comes King. King brings it in over the line using the defense as a screen, makes a move and shot it off the side of the net. As Trent King made a little fancy move. Got it by Blodgett, but off the side of the net. And back comes McDevitt. He'll switch places with Howell. Dumps it towards Howell in the near side corner. Christou tried to play it up the wall, but stolen by Bolak in the corner. Bolak watched by Christou, who comes away with it. The only defenseman on the team, one of the only defensemen on the team who's over 6 feet is Christou. And now a 2-on-1 inside the zone. Here's King, but a long sliding play by Delory stopped an opportunity from King. And Bolak plays it behind the net. The Eagles have been on the ice multiple times blocking shots and passes in this game and have been successful. Here's Scotty Swain trying to use his size and speed. Gets around the defensive Christou. Goes behind the net, being watched by Madsey. Turned the puck over. Puck rimmed up the wall, kept in momentarily. And then a penalty taken by Owen Rieger as Paganani didn't stop moving his skates. Are they going to call both here? Looks like they're pointing to Paganani, too.
Embellish?
Wow.
What could it be? That looked like a
3:29.
Looked like a pretty clear penalty.
That looked like Paganani was moving very quickly past Rieger. Rieger wasn't happy with the penalty on Paganani.
Dodged a bullet there with that one.
But the fact that they're taking Paganani as well at 3:29 sets up a 4-on-4. That's a questionable call. Break for the Eagles, but very questionable because I was pretty comfortable on the fact that Rieger took a penalty. Didn't think there was embellishment, but shot taken on a break-in on the left side by Pick. So they called Paganini for embellishment. Not sure about that call, but a break for the Eagles. Face off to the right of Blodgett.
Yeah, this extra ice, Jeff, should also benefit Post.
Here's O'Connell off the face-off wing, gives it to Kimball. Kimball up on left wing, feeds a nice pass to O'Connell, but it went through his legs. As the Eagles had set that one up nicely. Santoro gets it back to Kimball. Nobody at the point, so he's got to rim it back to Santoro. Santoro, though, checked by Dutcher. Puck left there. Pick picks it up. Feeds a pass to Sterling. 4-on-4, here's Sterling. 2-on-2. Watched by Kimball. Brings it in over the line. Up on left wing. Tries to go around O'Connell. He does, but lost the puck off the side of the net and turned it over to Santoro. Excuse me, O'Connell. O'Connell gets to the red line. Dumps it in. Kimball goes off on a line change. Gloved by Connor. Leaves it for McGuire. And he'll come out with a minute to go on the 4-on-4. Deflected up by Fish. Behind Blodgett. Kennedy spins with it. Looks for Santoro. Finds Santoro. Puck stolen away by Santoro. Looking for Fish again. And here comes Murray. Murray. Santoro. 2-on-2. 3-on-2. Over the line. Murray tried to center it towards Santoro. Only got one hand on it. Eagles turn it over as King now has it inside the Raven zone with 4:45 gone in the second. 45 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4 with Rieger and Paganini in the box for tripping and embellishment. Here's Kennedy. Brings it in over the line. He's got some space. Kennedy, center point, sends it toward the net looking for a deflection. Almost got it. Then a recenter by Murray. Delory fakes the slap shot and takes a wrist shot that can't be handled by Connor. And that seems to be part of the Eagles' strategy as Connor makes the save and covers. As Connor's been struggling a little bit with those kind of shots, letting rebounds fly, and the Eagles looking for rebounds, but Connor able to control that one there with 16 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4.
Yeah, again, that open ice, room to make plays, favors posts right now.
Puck rimmed around the Madsey right here in the near side corner. He spins away from the check of Howell, reverses the flow to Christou. Christou trying to get it out, but Howell now on Christou, forces a pass to Madsey, 4-on-4 over. Still no score. Puck played up ahead here to Fret. Fret up on right wing, has Glassrud with him, watching him. Puck sends toward the net, and a turnaround little chip by Mitchell goes wide. Puck behind the net, Glassrud sends it up the middle, kept in by Madsey. Goes across the ice to Christou. Christou sends a shot toward the net, blocked by Glassrud. Mitchell pinned by Glassrud behind the net, played by Ursello. Ursello comes back to the point, but it goes off the stick of Christou and all the way out the center. Eagles try to steal it at the center. That's Tommy Bice, the senior, who had it roll off the stick. And here's Mitchell on left wing with the shot that Blodgett swallows whole with 6:08 gone in the second period. Still no score here at the Sports Center of Connecticut.
Yeah, both teams giving up opportunities, just a little too much puck watching going on, not really reading plays, closing gaps. So anybody's game at this point.
Swain and Fish on the draw to Blodgett's right. First goal is going to be huge in this game. Sometimes that's understated, but you just get that feeling. Puck behind it at O'Connell takes down Fish. 5 players in the far side corner playing it. Meyer comes down there to play, but kept in at the point by DeLeese. DeLeese holds, fakes with Meyer watching him, takes a shot that Blodgett saves. Delory comes away with it, pops it high into the air. Dutcher tries to glove it down with the racing Pekka after him. He does a good job to get it out the center to the Tessier, and here comes Spinelli. Spinelli over the line, had it turned over. Swain trying to come back the other way, using his speed to try to get around Spinelli. He does, 2-on-1. Swain looking for Pekka, with Spinelli riding Swain. Got the pass across, but just behind Pekka. Kennedy rims it in around the boards. Pekka will go chasing after it. DeLeese in the Zamboni corner. Pekka tries to run into the official, who's about 4 inches taller than him. So Pekka takes a needless hit on the official, and the puck comes back to center. Eagles dump it into the Raven zone. Connor leaves it for DeLeese. DeLeese leaves it for Dutcher. Dutcher comes out the far side with Beckett and Santoro watching him, gets to the red line, dumps it in to the Raven bench. With 7:21 gone in the second, still no score on a faceoff at center ice.
Yeah, if Post can seal those boards, almost consistently Franklin Pierce is coming up the strong side of the ice. If Post can get over there and seal those boards, as they have had some success doing a couple times so far today, they could get themselves some good scoring chances.
Rieger plays it out the center where it's taken by Brandish, who's probably had the best 2 opportunities in the game for either team. The shorthanded breakaway among them that went off Blodgett and then off the post in the first period. Dumped it in, puck back out the center where Brandish will try again. He'll go back to his offensive partner in Austin Pick and then finds his defensive partner in McGuire, but then they turn it over inside the zone. As they've done numerous times, Brandish again tries to get it out the center, but turns it over again to Rieger. Rieger goes to Kimball. Kimball will dump it on a cross-ice dump. Rieger chases it after it. Taken away by Pick, and back comes Franklin Pierce this time with McGuire. McGuire on a 4-man rush. Over the line on right wing, takes a shot toward the net that's clubbed by Blodgett for a face-off and whistle, while Pick and Beckett push and shove each other with 8:06 gone in the second period. Coach, I know we talked about this, again, Franklin Pierce's struggles this season, but one thing we sort of haven't touched on is the Eagles do have something to play for. Franklin Pierce really has nothing to play for in regards to standings other than pride at this point. They're going to be the 6th seed. Does that make them a little more loosey-goosey in this game than Post, who maybe they're playing for something today?
Well, it does for sure. You know, that creeps into the back of your mind if you're post. But at the end of the day, that's part of being consistent and playing the game the right way.
Here's Norling, who took a long pass but had to roll off a stick. Good check there by Madsey. Norling goes down. Murray tries to pick it up in the corner, but it comes free over on to McMains. McMains takes a big hit. Norling, watched by two players, gives it to McMains. McMains on a backhand comes out, and it goes high and into the netting behind Connor. Nice little chip pass there by Norling to McMains, who's got goals in back-to-back games. He came out of the corner with it, tried a backhand, and sent it high behind Connor with 8:30 gone in the second period.
And again, with a little pressure there, Franklin Pierce continues to try to move the puck up the strong side.
Murray tried to go back to Bice at the point, but split the baby and sent it all the way back down into the Eagle zone. Bice trying to get away from the check of Paganini, using his speed to get it back out to center, but turned the puck over as Velotis sends it ahead to Paganini, but lost the puck behind the net to Bice. Here's Norling. Norling looking for a quick pass to McMains, who takes it off his skate to his stick. McMains comes in, tried to go to the forehand, but then leaves it for Murray. Murray came in with a shot that blocked it away by Connor. Good job there by McMains. Found Murray cruising in on the left side. He went forehand and hit the blocker of Connor, who did a good job to hold the post. Puck left to the point, and they score! It's Bolak, who took a little simple wrist shot from the point. It didn't seem like Connor was ready for it. Howe wisely let the puck go past him on the half wall, all the way to the point to Max Bolak. And the Eagles grab that puck as the freshman from Fitchburg, Massachusetts, scores his first goal of the season at 9:14, and the Eagles have a 1-0 lead. I don't think Connor even knew that shot was coming.
No, that was a simple, just a little quick little release, and the goaltender was standing straight up and just sort of kicked at it as it went by.
We'll get you the assists in a moment, but Max Bolak, the freshman from Fitchburg, Massachusetts, his first collegiate goal. So currently Bolak from Howe. I think there's going to be another assist in there, but we will double check that as it moves along. But the Eagles take a 1-0 lead on Max Bolak's first varsity goal. And the Eagles take an all-important 1-0 lead. Puck behind Drew Blodgett. Pinned in a rugby type of scrum. Behind the net, played around though, back to the point and sent around by Giovanni Ursello. And the Eagles will come away with a Kennedy. Long pass ahead, looking for Kimball, who finally controls it. Feeds a nice pass to Santoro, but off his leg. Kennedy pinching in, trying to keep the puck in the zone. Good job by Santoro to keep it in the zone right at the blue line in front of the Eagle bench. Puck finally sent to center and then sent right back in by Holden Beckett. With 9:33 to go in the second period, 1-0 Eagles on Max Bolak's first goal of the year, his first collegiate goal at 9:14. Currently the lone assist to Jacob Howe. We'll see if we get an update as the period moves along. Here's Pekka. Pekka with Santoro. Pekka trying to come in on a backhand, looking for Santoro, just wide of Connor. Kennedy gloves it down. Now inside his own zone, tries to go across the ice from Meyer. Goes over Meyer. Didn't somehow manage to avoid the Eagle bench. And played back in the other way as Tessier. He brings it into the Eagle zone, but the Eagles stand tall right inside the blue line. Chip it back out the center, but then it's brought back in. Nice play by the Ravens, who try to center it in front. They get an opportunity and they score. It's Nicholas Tessier who found a loose puck after Nick Fish sent a backhand toward the net. It went off a leg, and Tessier found a loose puck as Blodgett was sliding to his left. And Tessier found a loose puck at 11:05. to make it 1-1, his third goal of the season.
Yeah, it looked like lack of communication there. No one really knew who was picking who up. There wasn't any real pointing going on, or you really didn't hear very much. So you can't get complacent.
The sophomore from Beaver Hills, Pennsylvania, his third goal of the year at 11:05. So a minute and 51 seconds after the Eagles take a 1-0 lead. Franklin Pierce has tied the game. The assist will be to Nick Fish, as he's the one who took the backhand off the leg. And just an unfortunate bounce to the Eagles as Tessier was wide open. Now back the other way come the Eagles. Here's Murray over the line, but Bolak Norling was offsides. With 8:36 to go in the second period, this is 1-1. Face-off just outside the Raven line. Well, right back to where we were about 2 minutes ago, just with the goal for each team. Good job by Franklin Pierce to get themselves right back into the game. And Franklin Pierce ices the puck, so a face-off inside the Eagles' zone, the Ravens' zone. Senior Day, regular season home finale for the Eagles. 10-14 on the season. One win away from tying the program record for wins in a season. Back in the 21-22 season, that was. Bice at the point, tries to take a shot. It goes off the leg of Pick and all the way down the ice. No icing here as Glassrud will have to chase after it, being watched by Parker. He spins it to his D partner, Bice. Bice tries to chip it off the wall, had it come right back to him, and Parker takes the puck away from Bice. Back to the point for a shot by Christou, looking for a deflection. He got it, but it went wide. And now here's Glassrud. Glassrud, all 6-7 of them, coming to center, then reversing it right back into the zone. Then a long pass up ahead to Bolak to score, but he can't control it, and the Eagles are offside, but he manages to control it now, and now they're onside. He takes a shot that goes high and wide. McDevitt plays it in, tries to center it across, looking for Howell. It goes by Howell, and back the other way comes Sterling. Sterling for the Ravens, in over the line, checked by O'Connell on the right side, pinned into the near side corner with Delory over there to help out as Captain Trey Delory plays his final regular season home game. Here's Howell looking for McDevitt a little bit too far. Christou tried to chip it away from McDevitt, but turned it over to Howell. Howell had his stick checked off his stick and out the center to Delory. Gives it right back to McDevitt. Eagles come right back in. McDevitt trying to find Bolak a little bit too far. And the puck rimmed all the way around to the far side wall, but Howell does a good job to get on the half wall and send it back behind the net. But the Ravens are the only one there. Bolak chasing over there, trying to get in front of Christou. He does. Puck pumps up in the air. O'Connell comes down the play, kept in by McDevitt. Eagles doing a good job keeping it in on this series and forechecking. Howell behind the net as Eagles change behind him. Tries to center it out in front, but Beckett hadn't come off the bench yet. Howell still in the zone trying to keep it there. Eagles doing a good job. Here's a shot by Kimball. Ripped it high and wide. Stays in, though, O'Connell. Gives it to Beckett. Beckett comes out into the slot. Gives it to Delory. Delory takes a shot toward the net that's deflected just wide and behind the net. Delory pinching in. Eagles with all the pressure right now. Delory, fancy move in front. Send it in front to Beckett. One-timer right on. Stopped by Connor. And probably his biggest save of the game. And the Ravens will ice the puck. As the Eagles had a solid 45 seconds of ice time inside their own zone. They kept it in 3 or 4 times. And then Holden Beckett with a one-timer from about 10 feet out, stopped by Jeremy Connor in his biggest save of the game, keeping it 1-1.
Yeah, and that's just what you see when you have pressure like that. That icing really didn't have to happen. He had plenty of room to take a stride, maybe a soft chip just into the neutral zone, but that's what happens when you have pressure on you.
A tired group of Ravens right now as the Ravens try to get it out, and they finally do, but they have to go for the far end of the ice to make a line change, and they'll get one there as it's an offsides by Franklin Pierce inside the Eagles zone, but that's a break for them, and that'll give them the opportunity to full line change with 6:18 to go in the second, 1-1.
Yeah, and really so far, Jeff, in the game when Franklin Pierce is in the offensive zone, Post has done a very good job of keeping them outside the dots, right? Pierce hasn't really forced their way back in between the dots very much. So one time they did do that, they ended up with a goal.
Ravens win the faceoff. The lease goes to Dutcher. A dangerous cross-ice pass is going to end up inside the Eagle bench. And a faceoff just outside the Raven zone. Got to tell you, Coach, you missed it earlier when I was talking to Coach Richter. We almost got taken out by a puck ourselves. As they opened the door, somebody took a slap shot, went off the wall, and almost took us both out. Maybe about 6 inches from my head.
I think you could take it.
And I watched it the whole way. Hit the wall and come right at us. Puck comes right in front. A chop toward the net. It lay in the crease area as Rieger took a little backhand chip at it. Rieger tries to center it for Norling as a breakdown in front as Franklin Pierce turned the puck over. Rieger using that body, looking for Kennedy, and it rolled off his stick. Kennedy sent it down around the boards. Good job by Norling to keep the puck moving. McMains gets hooked. No call there as he was hooked in the arm. Eagles trying to play it in the Zamboni corner. Norling lost it. Ravens dump it down the ice. It should be an icing, and it will be. As again, the Eagles putting on the pressure with 5:32 to go in the second period.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be the measure of success for them. You have to continue to chip away at this. Again, this team that has a lot of pride, obviously, and plays very hard. So you're going to have to earn every foot you get here.
Swain and Fret. Swain wins it to Meyer. Takes the shot off a leg. Off the face-off win by Swain. And then the puck sent up into the netting and a face-off inside the Raven zone again. So just a quick word. We want to thank all of our producers, directors, engineering team, our director of communications, Michael Vesey, and his team, who have been phenomenal this season for us here. Cannot thank them enough. I know we do off the air often, but on the air, a great group of people who have really stepped up the production value over the last couple of years. So thank you to all of them. Hopefully we'll thank them again post-game, but just want to make sure we get that out there and thank them for all their efforts and hard work this season.
Yeah, really a fun group.
Puck inside the Eagle zone. 6 players fighting for it right in the near side corner. Puck comes away finally to Tommy Bice, who tries to control it on the far side, looking for Meyer. Meyer then turned it over, but helped by Swain. Gets it to the blue line, not out. Ravens will change. Stick right in the middle of the ice. Looks like Myers. Bice trying to find Pekka. Had it deflect off a stick. Kept in by the Ravens again. They try to center it in front, but the only one there was Meyer. And he gets it to center. Nice chip pass by Pekka ahead to Swain. Swain brings it in over the line, 1-on-3, but turned it over. Eagles change. Back the other way comes Tessier, who's got the Raven goal. He'll send it right back into the Eagle zone. O'Connell over skates. Manages to get back, but Tessier has it. Tessier gives to Spinelli. Spinelli spins away from the check, gives it to Tessier. They're the ones who set up the opening goal, along with Nick Fish, but the Eagles managed to come out with it and give it to Murray. Murray tries to bring it into the Ravens zone. He did, but stolen by McGuire. Puck shot up ahead to Tessier. Tessier on his backhand. Now spins to the forehand right at the left point. Comes to McGuire. McGuire with some space toward the net that Blodgett makes a save on as he took a wrist shot, probably looking more for a deflection than anything else, but forcing Blodgett to make a save. And now McGuire tried to send it back in. It goes off the linesman. So it didn't go deep, and here comes McMains. 2-on-2, but rolled off his stick to McGuire. Not sure if it's the ice or just the puck rolling off the stick, as Delory will play it inside his own zone to go back to Kennedy, who goes behind his own net with 3:40 to go in the second. Here's Delory. Long pass ahead to Norling. Norling at the red line. Fan on his dump, and the puck sent all the way back in. And now a 2-on-0, really, in front, centering pass, and then they score! I'm not sure how there was a 2-on-0 down deep inside the Eagle zone, but Austin Pick found a loose puck in the middle of the near circle and sent it across the ice to a wide open Philip Parker on a 2-on-0. And the freshman from Medfield, Massachusetts makes it 2-1 Franklin Pierce on his 5th goal of the season.
Yeah, your offside defenseman got caught pushing outside the dot there, creating that space.
For Parker, his 5th. Pick will get 1 assist. We'll see if there's a second assist at 16:34. So Franklin Pierce takes a 2-1 lead. And give Douglas McGuire the second assist at 16:34. For McGuire, his 11th point of the season. Now the Eagles trail for the first time today. 2-1. Howell tags up, puck dumped into the Ravens zone, played by Sterling. And again, Ravens playing free and clear. They have nothing to really play for, and that's a dangerous combination sometimes when you're a team who has something to play for. McDevitt chases in Christou. He hits Christou with a nice check. Howell comes away with, though, near side corner. Howell trying to spin off the check of Sterling. And a penalty behind the play. Looks like it's going to be on the Ravens for cross-checking.
Yeah, golden opportunity here now for Post. That's you don't want to do that when you've got momentum on your side. So great opportunity here. Zone time. Santoro on the draw. This could work out well.
And away from the play too, which is what makes it equally bad, as Dimitris Christou, the graduate student, from, and I'm going to butcher this, Skaneateles, New York.
Skaneateles,
New York.
I just actually happen to know someone.
Murray with a shot right on and stopped by Connor and dumped all the way down. Skaneateles, New York gets 2 for cross-checking at 17-18. Eagles with an opportunity off that face-off as Kennedy now comes out of the zone looking for Santoro. But a nice step up by Wyatt DeLeese, who read the play nicely, and they'll send it right back in. As Coach mentioned, a golden opportunity for the Eagles, but unfortunately for the Eagles, also one of their biggest struggles is the power play. Finally get control of it at center, and here's Murray. Brings it in over the line. Murray looking for a chip to Santoro. Late change behind the players. Tommy Bice with a shot right on. Left the rebounded Connor, but Murray couldn't get control of it. He goes across the ice for Santoro, but it's out of the zone, and the Eagles will have to tag up with a minute to go on the man advantage and a minute 50 to go in the second period. 2-1 Franklin Pierce. Here's Santoro. In over the line with speed. He gets around the defense of McGuire. Santoro spins away from the hit of McGuire, looking for Kimball, tied for the NE10 lead in power play goals. Kimball back to Delory. Delory toward the net with a shot that deflects off the leg of Murray and wide. Rieger behind the net. Santoro trying to control it. Goes back to Rieger. Rieger to Delory. Fakes his slap shot. Top of the far circle is Rieger. He takes a shot toward the net that gets stopped by Connor. And now over to Delory here on the near side. Delory behind the net to Santoro. 30 on the power play. Santoro back to the point to Kimball. Kimball across to Rieger. Rieger spins away from Sterling. Now center point for Rieger. Comes down to Santoro. Santoro, bad angle shot off the face of Connor. Comes back to Kimball on the right side. To Delory, one-timer that goes wide. Sort of a knuckleball puck that goes wide. Santoro with 5 remaining on the man advantage. 40 seconds in the period. Looks down to Rieger. Rieger, power play expires, but the Eagles still have it. Across the ice looking for Kimball. The flex kept in by Santoro. Santoro, one-timer shot. The flex just wide as it was deflected low. Rieger takes a big hit right here in front of us by Fish, and the puck sent out the center. So that puck in the zone for several moments, but the Eagles could not get one past Connor. Swain spins off the check of McGuire, keeps the puck back to O'Connell, across the ice to Glassroot. He'll take a wrist shot, stopped by Connor in front. Pekka tried to send it to Swain, lost the puck, chipped up the wall and out the center, as O'Connell will play it with 10 remaining in the period. Long pass ahead to Meyer with 5. Meyer over the line, wrist shot, stopped by Connor, and a whistle with 2.6 seconds to go. And now a little pushing and shoving by DeLeese and Swain in front of Connor with 2.6 seconds to go in the second period. The Eagles have had so much of the play in the last 8 minutes inside their zone, yet they trail 2-1 on one defensive breakdown.
Yeah, that power play, they control the puck, they control everything. They just couldn't quite find that shooting lane.
2.6 to go in the second period. Santoro moving people where he wants. Face-off one, backhand by O'Connell. They got nothing on it, and that's going to end the second period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Eagles take a 1-0 lead at 9:14 on Max Bolak's first collegiate goal, but give up 2 goals, one a minute 51 later to Nicholas Tessier, and then just over 5 minutes after that, a 2-on-0 down low, and Philip Parker scored his 5th goal of the season, and Franklin Pierce leads 2-1, Coach. Not a position we thought the Eagles would be in here after 2 periods.
No, for sure. It's not where they want to be, but again, you're around it, you're home. It's time to reset, refocus, and even though it's a 2-1 game, you really do have the momentum on your side. They just have to continue to get pucks through, get pucks to the net, use their skills, and use the tools that they have.
Eagles 0 for 2 on the man advantage, trail 2-1 here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We'll come back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/Go Post Eagles. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Franklin Pierce has a 2-1 lead over the Eagles on 2 consecutive goals after the Eagles took a 1-0 lead midway through the second period. Second period intermission, we go around the NE10 hockey scene, and that's brought to you by Post University, ranked number 6 by U.S. News and World Report, having the best online programs for 2024. Take your opportunity because Post is personal. For more information on all the Post degree programs, to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Do things a little bit differently. First of all, congratulations to goaltender of the week in the NE10, Ben Cunine, who had an excellent week last week as well in the 2-1 victory. And Joe Santoro named to Faces to Watch in the NE10 this week. We're going to do this a little bit differently this week. First, we're going to break down the standings in the NE10, as we have a couple of times, just to give everybody an understanding of where we are. And then we're going to talk about some of the Post individual records set this season. So we're going to be a little more Post-focused than NE10 focused here in the second intermission. So NE10 standings, St. A's has 44 points, far and away the regular season champions. They're 14, 3-1, 0-1, excuse me, in the regular season. 15, 9-2 overall. Southern New Hampshire is currently second with 31 points. They're 9-6, 2-1-0, 11, 12-2 overall. They have a 2-point lead on St. Mike's, who has 29 points, 9-8, 1-1, 14, 11-2 overall. Assumption has 28 points, 8-9, 1-2, 12, 16-0 overall. The Eagles 4 points back, 7-10, 1-1, 10, 14-0 overall. Then Franklin Pierce rounds out the standings with 4 points, 1-16-1 in conference, 1-23-2 overall. Games this weekend: Assumption to St. Mike's, 7:10 tonight, 3:10 tomorrow. St. A's and Southern New Hampshire at Southern New Hampshire, 7:40 tonight, 7:40 tomorrow. And then the Eagles will wrap up their regular season at Franklin Pierce tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. What's odd for the Eagles is they play this early game today, so they can set the pace. They're trailing 2-1 right now. They get the win. They get a win today. They put pressure on both Assumption and St. Mike's, who are going to play 2 games, really probably complete 2 games before the Eagles play their next one. So the Eagles will know if they win today where they stand and what they need to do at 5:30 tomorrow night. But if the Eagles do lose to Franklin Pierce, or lose in overtime or in regulation time, then they're the 4 seed in the game tomorrow. Other than pride, doesn't really mean very much for the Eagles, as they will set up to play whoever the 4 seed will be between Southern New Hampshire, St. Mike's, and Assumption. So a lot of things up for grabs within the NE10 standings. Still, we don't know if the Eagles will be home or away, or who they will even play in the first round. The one thing we do know is if the Eagles do manage to get to the 4 seed, they will host the first round playoff game on Tuesday at 3 p.m. here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. So one thing we do know, everything else is still sort of up for grabs. So if the Eagles do manage to make the 4 seed, they will play that playoff game 3 o'clock on Tuesday here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. In relation to some of the things we were talking about related to the individual records that the Eagles are attempting to set or have set already this season, pardon me. Let's start with assists in a season. Aiden Kennedy, currently 3rd in program history with assists in a season. He's got 14 right now. Trails Tyler Hackett, who has 16, and Evan Lugo, who has 17 in assists in a season. Plus minus, Aiden Kennedy's plus 12 right now. That's first all time in program history, obviously with another period in the game to go. Tyler Hackett has the complete season record at plus 8, so Aiden Kennedy plus 4 ahead of him. Owen Rieger and Connor McCowell plus 7. Tied for 3rd, Mateo Pekka tied for 6th in the standings, although Kennedy right now is minus 2, so he's back to plus 10. Kennedy currently leads the NE10 in plus minus as well. So plenty of game to go, but right now minus 2 for Aiden Kennedy in his attempt to set the program record for plus minus. Block shots, Trey DeLory has this record in a season far and away. He's got 48. That's 11 more than Nick Brewer in one season and 12 more than Nick Brewer in another season. Add 1 to his total today to make 49 on the season. Harrison Sheldon also with 36. Tommy Bice and Aiden Kennedy right now at 32 apiece coming in today's game. Bice has 1 block, so give him 33 as he tries to get into the top 3 in block shots. But Trey DeLory in his last home game, the senior, 49 block shots on the season, first all-time. He's also all-time leader in blocks career with 125. That's 9 ahead of former leader Nick Brewer in post all-time records. Joe Santoro is 1 penalty minute away from breaking the penalty minute in the season record. Tyler Hackett has 69. Santoro currently at 68. Goals against average, Ben Cooney not playing today, likely to play tomorrow. He's got a 2.3 goals against average. That's far and away first all-time as he leads assistant coach and former Eagle goaltender Brandon Brown. His best season was a 3.02. Ben Cooney currently at 2.30. So barring something ridiculous, and I couldn't imagine he would be left in the game for that anyway, Ben's going to set the single season record for goals against average. Ben is 1 win shy of Brandon Brown's program record 10 in a season, so he'll get the opportunity tomorrow to break that record. And save percentage, he currently leads with a 939 save percentage. Brandon Brown 932 one season, a 911 in another. So Ben Cooney has an opportunity to break that record as well. Tommy Bice, the senior, game 108 today. He's one off the program record held by Jack Engdahl. He plays tomorrow, and then in the playoff game he'll break that record in games played on the program side. They have 10 wins. That's one off the program record in the 21-22 season. Goals allowed, they're going to smash that record barring a ridiculous couple of games. They've only given up 65 goals this season. The program record is 88 back in the 18-19 season. So actually make it 67 with the 2 today. So they still have 21 goals to give up to get to that record. Fewest opponent shots, 887. They have a chance to probably finish second all-time as 904 is the program record. 967 is second place. The penalty kill, 1 for 1 today, currently second all-time at 80.6. And block shots as a team, 314 coming into today. That's third all-time in program history. They're at 317 right now, so they're only 6 away from moving into second all-time. So that's our look around the NE10 today. More of a post-record look around here this afternoon. Brought to you by Post University and its number 6 ranked U.S. News and World Report. It's having the best online program for 2024. Take your opportunity, because Post is personal. For more information on all our post-degree programs, visit campus or apply. Go to post.edu. That's post.edu. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a recap of the second period. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/Let's Go Post Eagles. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. 2-1 Franklin Pierce a busy second period in the sense that 3 goals were scored. First, Max Bowak, his first career collegiate goal at 9:14. As good job by Jacob Howell. He let the puck go past him on the half wall all the way back to Bowak, who was standing on the right point. He took a shot, a simple shot to say the least, but Jeremy Connor was not ready for it, never saw it, and somehow went past him to make it 1-0. Give Jacob Howell an assist and add an assist to Tanner Glassrud at 9:14, and Eagles had a 1-0 lead. But a minute 51 later, a shot taken by Trent King, the freshman from Malone, New York, deflected off a leg and right to the side of the net, where Nicholas Tessier found it was Nick Fish, who took a shot off a leg and right to Tessier, who had a wide open net, and put it by Drew Blodgett at 11:05 to make it 1-1 for Tessier, his 3rd of the season. And then the lone defensive breakdown in the last 8 minutes of the period somehow ended up with the Ravens on a 2-on-0 from the circles down. And McGuire sent a pass to Austin Pick, the junior from Troutdale, Oregon, team's leading scorer. And he sent it across to a wide open Philip Parker, the freshman from Medfield, Massachusetts, scored his 5th goal of the season to make it 2-1 at 16:34. The goal officially Parker from Pick. And McGuire for Austin Pick, his team leading 19th point at 16:34. Shots on goal, Eagles 12, 2-period total 23, Franklin Pierce 7, 2-period total 13. Eagles 15-7 on the faceoff draw in the second period, 27-17 overall. Coach, Eagles dominated essentially the last 8 minutes of the period, except for a 10-second period where Franklin Pierce had a 2-on-0 and he made it 2-1. But the puck was on their end of the ice. The ice was slanted. They just couldn't get one by Connor.
No, I mean, in this period here, Post has got to, again, they're out shooting their opponent, but now we got to play a little bit smarter. I would love to see them not just dump pucks and create a 50-50 battle. I would like to see them put pucks to the goaltender to force draws. They're well over 60%, which is unheard of in face-offs. That's just a fantastic percentage, with everyone essentially winning their draws just about. So create opportunities like that. When you pressure Pierce, they push the puck up the strong side. You know that. Get in a position to recover that puck. On transition, move the puck quick. Move it quick. Try to get something going here off the rush as well. Give your opponent more than one thing to worry about, to adjust to.
Start of the third period, the Eagles in their home whites going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. Franklin Pierce in the road red and blue with white going right to left. Big third period for the Eagles, trailing 2-1 here on Valentine's Day afternoon here at the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton. We thank you for joining us wherever you are this afternoon, spending a little bit of your time listening and watching to Post University hockey. Kennedy turned it over behind the net to Spinelli. Big period for the Eagles. Back to the point to Delise. Gives it over center point. Long shot taken. Good stop by Drew Blodgett there. As shot taken by Ryan Dutcher. Got through a screen. And a big left pad save by Blodgett 30 seconds into the third period. Here's Rieger. Long pass. Goes off of Branish as they were looking for Holden Beckett. And the puck sent behind the net to Kennedy. Kennedy to Norling. Norling makes a nice move, looking ahead for Santoro. Gets to the red line, dumps it in. Chasing after it is Beckett. Beckett lost the race to Branish. Branish ripped it around the Pick. Pick tries to get it out, and he does to Sterling. Here's John Sterling in over the line. Taken down by Bice. Given to Murray. Murray tries to go back to Bice. Good step in by Pick. And McMains gets it out the center to Norling. Norling with some speed and a 2-on-1 in over the line, but he spun away from the 2-on-1 that was being created. Tried to dump it down to Murray and turn the puck over. Sterling high in the air. Looking for his man. He gets it to him on a backhand. That was Parker who found the puck and took it away from Tommy Bice and turned it over to McMains. McMains one-on-one over the line with a shot that's gloved by Connor, and then he dropped it at his feet. But the whistle had blown with a minute 33 gone in the third. 2-1 Franklin Pierce. Nice high play by Sterling that Parker found. His goal right now is the lead goal. As Sterling goes off the ice, maybe an equipment matter. for the Ravens. Face off to the left of Jeremy Connor, who's been good but a little bit unsteady. Eagles haven't had a ton of great, 10-bell opportunities, call them high-danger opportunities, but they've had more shots, and the better of the play. Here's Piravolotis. Tried to center it in front, but split everybody and went all the way back inside the Raven zone. McDevitt chasing after it as Joshua Tisdale on the ice for the first time. Avoids the hit of McDevitt. Puck spins to the far side. Nice little touch pass ahead to Piravolotis. Piravolotis dumps it in. Glassrud goes back to get it with Paganini in on him. Paganini goes down, and here's Bolak. Bolak, quick little pass ahead to Howell. Howell gets to the red line, tries to chip it in, goes off a leg. Bolak plays it to McDevitt, who sends it around the boards looking for Howell. Goes past Howell, comes all the way to the far side. Kennedy goes back instead of pinches in, and the puck comes out the center. McDevitt sort of held up. Ursillo wasn't happy, didn't try to push Bolak into the bench. And here's Kennedy. Long pass looking for Meyer. It goes off Meyer's stick and taken away by Dutcher. Eagles want to be careful about playing basket hanging hockey. They just want to keep grinding away and doing what they've been doing. They played a great last 8 minutes of the second period, other than the 10 seconds on the 2-on-0. Meyer goes across the ice looking for Pekka. Pekka does a good job to stop and spin away with the defense changing behind him. Leads a nice pass to Bice, who takes a shot toward the net that gets deflected. And then the puck sent all the way down the ice. This might be an icing. O'Connell takes a superfluous route to ensure the icing as he sort of made a bit of a veer and slowed down. And the puck will be inside the Raven zone with a face-off to the, I'm going to say, the left of Jeremy Connor, as Santoro typically likes that side.
Yeah, just watching right now, it's Post is trying to play a little more wide open, but also conversely, I feel like Pierce is gripping the stick a little bit tight right now.
Bice toward the net, looking for the deflection of Beckett. It went off somebody. I don't know if it went to Connor, and then popped free into the slot and all the way out as Tessier brings it in. He takes a long shot from about 50 feet out. Stopped by Blodgett. A change in field position is now the face-off inside the Eagle zone to the left of Drew Blodgett. Santoro, Beckett, and Kimball for the Eagles. Puck sent up past Kimball, kept him. McGuire takes a shot that flutters wide. Bice picks it up in the near corner, checked off by two Ravens, but did a good job to give it to Santoro, goes behind his net and brings it out. Here's Santoro. Looks up the middle for a streaking Kimball. He'll get him, so no icing. Kimball takes a bad angle shot off of Connor, who held the post. Maybe not the worst of plays to see if Connor left the rebound. And quick end-to-end action. Face off in the Raven zone, now in the Eagle zone, now back to the Raven zone, all within a span of 30 seconds.
No, that's a simple play, and face-offs should favor Post.
Norling, Meyer, and McMains. One back to Delory, who takes a shot, blocking away. Had a rebound, did McMains, but he fanned on it. Excuse me, that was Norling who fanned on it, and back comes Sterling, who's back off the ice. A big hit by Trey Delory right in front of us, and Sterling does a good job to get out. He sort of ducked under some of it, but 6'5" Delory putting the body on you, that's going to leave a mark. Norling looking for McMains. They're having trouble fielding it. McMains just sweeps it in on Connor.
That was a tricky shot right there.
And back the other way come the Ravens. Here's Pick and Sterling over the line for Parker, but they're offsides as Sterling passed it a little too close to the blue line with 4:15 gone in the third. Still 2-1 Franklin Pierce. Not to get too, sorry, Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, no, those little mental mistakes like that, you can't make those. That's kind of hockey 101 as they're turning that puck over that close to the blue line.
Howell and Sterling just outside the Eagle line. One by Howell, back to Kennedy, who gives to Rieger. Rieger across the ice looking for McDevitt, just a little bit wide. Eagles got to be a little crisper on those passes. As Parker had it chopped off his stick, Eagles offside. They still have to tag up, and they do finally. Puck sent out to center. Rieger gloved it down. Gave it back to Bolak with a nice pass to Howell. Here's Howell in over the line. Checked by Christou. Tried to center it for Bolak. It goes behind the net. There's a big check behind the net. Puck comes free to Pick on the half wall on the near side. 4 players in that corner. Only one Eagle right now. Pick has it again. Tries to get it out. Attempting to get it to center, and they finally do. As Kennedy will play it back in his own zone. D to Rieger. Gives to Meyer. Meyer trying to find McDevitt. Turned it over to Paravolotis. And the puck sent into the Eagle zone. Kennedy. 5 minutes gone in the third. Still 2-1. Looking for Meyer. High stick, but the Eagles touch it next. And here's Rieger in over the line, and they're offsides as Meyer was a little bit ahead of that play. Face off just outside the Raven zone.
Yeah, both teams just still a little bit off this whole game.
Here's Pekka. Takes the puck off the face-off, went into the near side corner, being held off by DeLeese. Swain comes away with it. Swain tried to center it out in front. He drove to the net with a rebound shot taken by Meyer. I think that was stopped by... No, that went off the netting behind the net, excuse me. For a second, I thought Connor had it. But that went off the netting behind the net, so they'll do it again. Giovanni Ursello and Scotty Swain. One by Swain. Meyer who tried to take a one-timer off the face-off. Fanned on the shot more than anything, and the puck bounced away and then sent out to center. Here's O'Connell spinning away from the check of Mitchell. Nice pass to Swain. Swain being taken down by DeLeese. No call by any of the officials, and DeLeese comes away with it. The captain of Franklin Pierce goes behind the net to Dutcher. Big hit by Pekka in that corner. He took out Dutcher. Puck still deep in the corner. Swain trying to come out with it. Dangerous move by Dutcher to come out in front with it. Had it chopped off the stick to Mitchell. Big hit there by Meyer on Mitchell. And Tommy Bice spins away with it and lost it to DeLeese. Ravens dump it into the Eagle zone. Ursillo chases after it, but Delory back to take it away. Meyer sent it off a leg. Luckily, Bice there to back it up. Bice comes away with it and gets it out to center. Bice looking for Meyer. Meyer left his leg out there dangerously. Almost a trip, and here's Branish. Branish gives to McGuire. Sends it up, looking for King. Good job by Beckett to getting away with it. And here comes the Ravens with a dump toward the net. It's Branish. Sends it high and wide. Glassroot up in the air, who's got an assist in this game, but kept in by McGuire nicely. 6:45 gone in the third. Still 2-1 Franklin Pierce. Kimball can't get it out as Paravolotis keeps it in. Sends it down around the boards to King. King gets checked by by Delory. Then in front, a little shot taken by Paganani. And here comes the Eagle Santoro. Santoro tried to chip it and gave it away. Here's Paganani. Paganani walking in. He scores! A turnover. Blodgett came way out. Paganani was patient, waited, and then sent a backhand into an open net as Blodgett committed at 7:09, and Franklin Pierce takes a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that was your perfect storm there. Delory got tied up in the corner with the Franklin Pierce player. Was not able to get back to cover for that. And just a bad, unfortunate turnover. For
Paganani, his team-leading 9th goal of the year, unassisted at 7:09. And that makes the hill a little hard to climb for a team that doesn't score a ton of goals in the Eagles themselves. Now trailing 3-1. Not that they can't do it, but they do trail 3-1. Here's Kennedy. In over the line, turns it over. Want to be careful about trying to play hero hockey right now. Still plenty of time left to get these goals, but back the other way comes the Ravens, 2-on-2. In over the line with a shot that goes wide. Deflected behind the net is Fish. Fish had it turned over, and here comes Rieger. Rieger with a long pass looking for a breaking McMains. That's what I'm talking about. It was a 1-on-2 if you could have made the pass, but a dangerous pass anyways. You want to keep playing within yourselves. Here's Norling. Looking for McMains. He's got Rieger with him. Looking for Rieger. Finds Rieger. Backhand shot. 1-2 save by Connor. Oh, that was their opportunity to get it to within 1A. And Rieger's looking to the sky, wondering how that didn't go in. He went backhand first. Connor made the save. The rebound was there. He went forehand. And Connor made another save with 12:03 to go in regulation time. Still 3-1, and put a circle around those two saves, Coach, as Connor made them there.
Yeah, and Post has got to play with composure here. You see a little pushing and shoving after the play. You got to take care of the task at hand. The task at hand is you got to get a puck in the back of the net.
Face-off won by Franklin Pierce, rimmed it around from near to far. Parker has a streaking pick but couldn't find him. And they're going to call icing on that? They will call icing on that. Not a big fan of that being an icing call.
No, I agree with that. But, again, Post with their ability to win draws, this is to their benefit. Move it, get a clean draw here. Let's get some traffic in front. Right back in the game.
Howell and Sterling to the right of Connor. Won by Howell to McDevitt. McDevitt tried to send it back to the point, but taken by Sterling. He'll rim it around to the near side half-wall corner. Bice keeps it in, takes a shot toward the net, sticked away by Connor. And then O'Connell with a shot, ripped it wide on a blast. Bice again toward the net, looking for a deflection more than anything. Missed McDevitt. Ends up in the far side corner. McDevitt looks in front to Howell. The nice play backhanded toward the net. Connor sticks it away, and Pick tries to send it out to center. He does. Nice jump catch by Bice, and the Eagles will bring it right back in, but McDevitt a little bit too far ahead. And offsides are the Eagles with 11:23 to go in regulation time, 3-1. Franklin Pierce.
Yeah, Post just needs to take a breath. 11 minutes left, plenty of time to get 2 goals or more.
Mosher on the ice for the first time in a while. Long shot by Glassroot at center. Sticked away by Connor. Rimmed up the wall and kept in by that 6-7 reach of Glassroot. Nicely done, and here's Pekka. Pekka trying to make one too many moves. Gets the puck taken away, and the puck sent out to center. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell brings it in up on right wing over the line. Looking for a pass more than anything. A little bit too far. Behind the net is Ursillo. Puck sent back to the point to Branish. Branish goes deep to McGuire. McGuire with a shot toward the net goes off Mitchell's leg. McGuire, though, gets the rebound off the leg, takes a shot again, and it's deflected into the netting as it went off Matthew Frett. With 10:50 to go in regulation time, 3-1. Franklin Pierce, as they're putting a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, good time right now to decide who your best 6 forwards are. Run them for 3-4 minutes and try to get something going here.
We'll start with Santoro, Beckett, and Kimball, will the Eagles, as the puck won back to the point to Branish for a shot that Blodgett stops. McGuire's been good today for Franklin Pierce as well. Don't forget to stay with us at the end of the game. We'll do the 3 stars, and we will have an interview, win, lose, or draw, with Eagle head coach Tim Richter on the annual state of the program. Shot from the point again gets deflected as Branish took a shot. And Paravalotis got in the way. Eagles. Santoro had it swiped off his stick. Kennedy tries to send it up the near boards. Good pinch in by McGuire. Kennedy looking to reverse the flow, but McGuire down low. In front with a centering pass. McGuire tried to send it toward the net. Wide open in front on a backhand. Big save by Blodgett as King was wide open in front of the net. And a backhand shot stopped by Blodgett to keep this 3-1. But again, it's kind of like the basket-hanging basketball player right now. The Eagles need to stay within their game. Norling over the line looking for Murray, and it just went through everybody. Backhanded out to center is Spinelli, and Bice will start again, but had it chopped off his stick by Fish. Fish chasing after it, watched by O'Connell. O'Connell does a good job to take the body. Bice comes back to help out, chips it up to Norling, who leaves it to Murray. 3-man rush for the Eagles, goes across from McMains. McMains just rims it in around the boards. Chasing after it is Norling. Norling lets it go by, back to the point to O'Connell. O'Connell sends it toward the net, looking for the deflection. It goes wide. Other side, Norling turns around with it, tries to find McMains, and it goes through the crease and wide. McMains lays a hit, Norling lays a hit. Eagles get the puck back at center with 9:22 to go in regulation. A penalty behind the play, though. And I wonder if that's McMains or if that's one of the Ravens. McMains is going in the box. And just to your point, Coach, a bad penalty not needed with 9:19 to go in regulation time on Bradley McMains. And Franklin Pierce will go to their second man advantage of the game with their 0 for 1. 10:41 the time of the penalty.
Yeah, if there's pressure, I'd like to see Post pressure on this, and I think they could pop one here. They could pop one and maybe get a shorty.
Kept in by Parker. Parker, who's got the second goal of the game, his 5th of the season. Tries to spin off a check of Delory. He says he sends it down to Pick. Pick to Sterling. Sterling comes out the Zamboni corner and spins back to the point to Branish. Branish holds, gives to Sterling on right point, gives it down to Pick. Pick. Back to Branish. Branish closing in with a shot that's blocked by Blodgett nicely. Branish didn't get a lot of that, sent it high. Easy play there by Blodgett to stop it with the blocker, and the Eagles send it all the way down the ice. Right on Connor, 4-man line change for the Eagles with 1:10 to go on the penalty kill. 8:35 to go in regulation time. 3-1 Franklin Pierce. Sterling over the line, chopped away by Kennedy. Sterling now on his butt, had the puck deflect off of him. But here's Austin Pick. Pick sends it toward the net, gets it to Sterling on a deflection somehow. Took a bad angle shot, stopped by Blodgett. Good right out by Kennedy. He tried to clear it, but sent right back to him. Kimball then turns, spins, and sends it all the way down the ice. 8 minutes even to go in the third. 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Santoro watching Christou. Christou leaves it for McGuire. McGuire comes out from behind his net, gets to the blue line, now to the red, now over the blue. Dumps it in around the boards all the way from near to far, looking for Fish. 4 players in the scrum right in front of the Zamboni corner at a 5th, now at a 6th. As Kimball comes away with it, tried to send it down the ice, but stick checked by one of those 6 players. Call it Nick Fish who did it. And now all those players back on the half wall. Back of the point to DeLeese. DeLeese closes it with the shot that just goes wide. Takes a heavy bounce off the half wall, off the wall behind the net, and sent all the way down the ice. That should kill off the power play. Howell chasing after McGuire. So Franklin Pierce falls to 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Eagles trailing by 2 with 7 minutes to go. Delory gets it to Bolak, who's got the Eagle goal. His first career collegiate goal and over the line. Bolak trying to go through too many players. Leaves the puck in the slot area. Delory closing in now with a backhand toward the net. Gets deflected high and wide over Connor. Bolak gets checked hard by Fish. Puck not kept in by Delory, and back to Glassroot at center. Nice quick pass by Glassroot to Bolak. Bolak tried to find McDevitt on the other side. But good defensive play by McGuire, but then a bad chip off the wall, and Howell keeps it in. Howell in the far side corner looking to center it out in front to Bolak. Bolak came down with it, but a good play by Arcillo to get it out to center, and Glassroot will step in. 6:35 to go in regulation time. 3-1 Franklin Pierce. Mitchell, that's McGuire, makes a move, gives it up to Fret. Fret dumps it around the boards. There's Mitchell on the far side half wall, checked by Glassroot, and now Rieger. Rieger looking for Howell, faked on the chip, takes a shot at Arcillo, stopped by Blodgett, and the puck sent to center. Christou dumps it in. Blodgett will hold it behind his net for Glassroot with 6 minutes to go. Glassroot to Norling, looking for Murray, a little bit too far. McBains will go back to chase after it and go back to Norling. Norling finds Glassroot. Glassroot looking for somebody. He said he just dumps it toward the Raven line where it's played by Madsey. Madsey comes across for Fish. Fish has had a lot of ice time. Gives it to Rieger. Rieger looking ahead for McMains, but the puck's sent right back out the center. And now a one-on-one opportunity as Mitchell carries it in over the line, deflects off Kennedy's stick and over the net. Tessier, who opened the scoring for the Ravens. And Connor Murray is on his knees behind the play. I'm not sure if there's a penalty or just an injury. With 5:30 to go in regulation time. 3-1 Franklin Pierce. The Eagles lose this game, they're locked into the 5 seed, which means they'll play on the road, likely Tuesday, but do not know against who yet, as there'll be a lot of things going on within the NE10 over the next 24 hours or so. Eagles just need to win. Regulation wins would be easier, but they do just need to win. So if they can get it in overtime or they can get it in regulation, either or will be helpful. Here's Kimball. In, over the line, avoids a check. Tried to duck underneath it, rather, but turned the puck over to Tessier. Tessier, 1-on-3, not afraid to try to go through as many players as he needs to. Turns it over to Santoro and back to Kimball. Kimball with a backhand chip, but Sterling came right in and took it away. And now Kennedy stepping up into the play. Had it checked off his stick. He steals. Kennedy on the backhand. Stopped right on by Connor as he stole the puck. Here's Santoro. Behind the net, comes from far to near. Tries to spin out with a Slat pass, gives it to Kimball. One timer by Bice. It just goes wide. In front, deflected. Connor holding the post, keeps it there. Eagles trying to come back out the other side. It goes back to Bice. Right point, keeps it in. Gives it back to Santoro. Goes back to Kennedy. Kennedy fakes, makes a move, tried to keep going with it, had a roll off a stick. He picks it up on left point, goes across the ice looking for Kimball, tries to go back to Bice, and the Eagles turn it over as back comes Spinelli, and Spinelli makes a move around Bice. Here's Spinelli closing in, he scores! And that should do it at 15:36. Franklin Pierce comes in here with one win, and in all likelihood will walk out with one other as here for Fish. Fish closes and scores. That about sums it up. At 19:47, clock ran an extra 5 seconds after the play, but Nick Fish stole a pass, walked in on a breakaway, and beat Blodgett glove side high. Nothing he could do there. But that sums up the game on Fish's third of the season shorthanded. At, I guess technically 19:51, because they didn't reset the clock. Unassisted, that's the second unassisted goal in the period on giveaways and breakaways. And that should do it. A centering pass by Howell. Game is over. Congratulations to Coach Ken Jernander, his first road win as head coach of Franklin Pierce. And the Eagles fall 5-1 today in a tough way to lose this one, Coach.
Yeah, interesting thing, too, about Franklin Pierce with their 2 wins, they win. When they win by 3 goals or more so far this season. So when they've been able to figure some things out, they're scoring some buckets of goals.
Shots on goal in the third for the Eagles, 10, a 3-period total of 33. For Franklin Pierce, 17, a 3-period total of 30. Face-offs stayed about the same, 10-10 in the third, but not the period or game the Eagles wanted. They took a 1-0 lead in the second period, but it was all Franklin Pierce, at least on the score sheet after that. They had an 8-minute period in the second period where Post totally dominated outside of 10 seconds, but could not get one by Jeremy Connor, who makes 32 saves this afternoon.
Yeah, no, really, for me, it really came down to puck management, a lack of puck management, and then Franklin Pierce taking advantage of the opportunities that they got.
Coach, as we get to the 3 stars, they'll be brought to you by Post University, offering online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. It's application season, and as always for you, Post is personal. For more information on all the Post degree programs, to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Coach, your 3 stars this afternoon.
Yeah, for me, my first star is going to Mario Paganini. He had the 3rd goal, and that really kind of opened things up and really turned momentum in Franklin Pierce's favor. And then I thought Nick Tessier was very visible all game long, a goal and an assist. And then the one that really put the dagger in it from Brendan Spinelli on that turnover. He took full advantage of it and was able to bury it for my 3rd star.
Those are your 3 stars today. I'll two players, Nick Fish, who scored the last goal, but helped to set up the first one. I thought he was a little bit all over the place today. He had a lot of hits as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, the other guys too, right? Austin Peck, while on the scoreboard a little bit, when he was out there, he was noticeable. When he was out there, he controlled play, and that means a lot too. John Sterling as well. John played well when John was out there. John held pucks, possessed pucks, and made it difficult for Post to get any kind of a real opportunity.
And just one other name, Coach Jeremy Connor, who
came up big when he had to, right?
It didn't look pretty, but 32 saves. Made some big ones, particularly when it was 2-1, Franklin Pierce, late in that second period where the Eagles were sort of in that dominant 8 minutes of puck possession and shooting. But Jeremy Connors held tall. Wasn't pretty, but he gets his 2nd win of the season.
Also to the credit, Franklin Pierce credit as a team, out shooting 17-10, right?
Yeah,
in the 3rd period. That's the period that you gotta win that period.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you probably could just name everybody. That was as complete a win for Franklin Pierce as they probably complete a performance as Franklin Pierce has had all season. So to their credit, Coach Jernander's credit, they came in here, got the win, gets their 2nd win of the season. They'll move them up to 7 points. Eagles fall to 7-11, 1-1, and that'll lock them into the 5th seed. It means no home game on Tuesday. It's a road game, likely on Tuesday. It's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday, probably just based on rink availability. And the other part of that is the Eagles are not going to know who they're going to play until the weekend is over. They might have an idea going into their game tomorrow because it plays at 5:30, but they will not know their opponent. They will be a 5 seed, and barring something ridiculous in the playoffs, have no more home games left this season unless Franklin Pierce wants to run the table and the Eagles want to run the table. Then we can do this all again here in 2 weeks.
There you go.
You don't seem sold on that thought.
I listen. The reality is the way things are set up. Right. It's not over till that last second ticks off and the buzzer goes. Anyone can still come out as an NE10 champion here. We've seen people, and now Franklin Pierce playing the best hockey that they've played. Right. That can be a real advantage when you're playing a team that is maybe saying, you know what, we've got X amount more wins than them, we've got X amount more points, we're more goals, we're just going to go take this. So teams have to be careful. Franklin Pierce could end up being sneaky good.
Yeah, and to be fair, they could end up with Assumption, who they also beat as a 3 seed.
Right.
So, like, there's a lot. The 1 seed is locked up in St. A's, the 5 seed is locked up with your Eagles, and the 6 seed is locked up with Franklin Pierce. 2, 3, and 4 are going to battle it out this weekend, and we'll figure out where they are from there. Coach, your thoughts on just where the season is? A lot of positives. A game like today isn't exactly positive. Again, you can name a lot of positives. I think the one thing the Eagles also have to look at is goals. They're last in the NE10 in goals. They're 52 after today. That's quick math in my head. It's less than 2 goals a game.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you have to do is, again, still plenty of season left. So you need to find that lightning in a bottle that you were able to recreate. Because you know you're capable of it because you've done it. You know, you've had those long win strings, markedly more wins than last season. So while today is not a positive, the season up to this point, it's still a positive. You know, you're playing any of these teams you're playing, you've beaten at some point during the season. So it's still anybody's game as they move forward here.
Eagles have now lost 5 of 6. That's after winning 5 of 6. So last 12 games are 6-6. But it's going to be a tough road through the playoffs. They'll play Franklin Pierce tomorrow, and then they'll be the 5 seed and see where they are in the NE10 playoffs. They've made it through before. They've gone to the championship game, obviously in your last season, Coach. So anything is possible, but. Eagles are going to need to continue to find ways to win the game.
Yeah, they're going to have to find ways to score goals. I mean, that's going to be it. And defensively, they're going to need to be better in the neutral zone, which they've shown that they can do that. You know, they've got some games that they played this year where they were just simply outstanding against very good teams. So let's see where that all falls out. I mean, I'm sure that this is an emotional day for all those seniors, and there's still one more kick at the can. So let's get our playoff lineup set, reset, refocus, and put our best foot forward. That's what the boys are going to be asking each other to do in the room. And that's what the coaching staff is going to ask them. And again, it becomes a choice. Consistency is important. Stay out of the box. Let the other team take the foolish penalties, and anything can happen.
So the last regular season game will be tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. at Franklin Pierce. That'll be on Flow Sports. For those of you who are subscribed and want to watch that game, it'll be on Flow Sports tomorrow. This will be our last game on CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPost Eagles for the season, at least on the men's hockey side. The women's hockey still has a home game upcoming. But as we mentioned in the second period, just again want to thank all of our staff here, producers, directors, interns, Mike Vesey, our director of communications, who puts this all together. Everybody does a fantastic job. You know, we've gone from 1 camera to 3 cameras. We've got interviews, we've got commercials. We're stepping it up on a yearly basis. So thank you to all of them. They make us look good. You know, their work makes us look good ultimately, Coach.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's to me it's really interesting because you don't see it obviously on the broadcast, but the amount of electronic and technical equipment necessary to get all this to work is pretty impressive, and credit to all these students. That,
and by the way, the world's longest extension cord.
Yes, the Extension Cord Hall of Fame, if there is one, this extension cord will in fact be inducted at some point.
So thank you to all of them. I mean, again, Coach, you can attest to it. When we sort of started this, it was just kind of you coaching and just me at a table. So we've sort of upgraded this as time goes on, and maybe next year we might be in a new perch, depending on whether the money is spent and the work is done.
Yeah, well, I think we are a beam and a staircase away.
All right. That's exciting. So maybe next year we'll have a whole new vantage point for post-Eagles men hockey down here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Just waiting on Coach Richter, who I'm sure his post-game address is maybe going a little longer than we had anticipated when we talked before the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say. I mean, moving forward here, like as a staff, you can make adjustments in your lineup a little bit, but past that, it's your team. You guys got to decide how they're going to play and if they're going to play for each other and how they're going to execute, and that's going to be the difference maker. There is a point with a coach in the season where. And this is at that point where it's kind of out of your hands. You're not going to all of a sudden be able to come up with some grand X's and O's that's going to make a difference. It's going to be these players just deciding that they are going to get it done.
So that is the story as we wait for Coach Richter. 5-1 the final for Franklin Pierce this afternoon, their second win of the season. So they'll move to 2-23-2, 2-16-1 in conference. Eagles will fall to 10-15-0, 7-11-0-1-1 in conference. And I think here comes Coach Richter. Let's see. Probably wants to forget that I asked him to do this interview.
Well, you have to make sure that he does remember as well, right? That's the other piece of it.
I think he's slowly making his way. Although it is Valentine's Day, so you want to make sure you get the misses and the kids in the beforehand.
Earn those domestic credits.
All right, wait for my staff to tell me we're ready. Let's see, are we good to go? Kristen, we good to go? All right, we're good to go. Coach Tim Richter, not the game you wanted to see today, 5-1 loss. Let's first talk about that. What you didn't like particularly about today's game, and if there was anything you did like.
I didn't like much. I didn't think we stuck to our process. We played soft. Everything that we work on for 6 months kind of went out the window there today. But lesson learned. You can't just show up and expect things to happen. You got to actually earn them. And we didn't earn it. We didn't earn it by any means in all three zones. We got outplayed in all three zones and didn't hunt pucks, didn't get net front. And they did. They worked, and kudos to them. They worked for 60 minutes, and they earned that win 100%.
Fifth seed now. You guys are locked into that fifth seed. So what does tomorrow's game look like? Is it that going to be a Ben game? Is it going to be a Sam game? Like, what does tomorrow look like for your group?
Tomorrow is we're getting back to our process
okay.
and our structure, and we want to be prepared. Like our goal is to win hockey games, and so we're going to put the best lineup out there to help us win a hockey game and continue to move forward. I think we've done a tremendous job this year of continuing to push the needle, and that's our job. We want to continue to do that.
Season as a whole, 10 wins, solid. You ended up with the fifth seed, but 10 wins overall. barring something crazy in the next couple of games, you're going to break the program record for fewest goals allowed. You've got your seniors like Trey DeLaurie who have broken the program record in block shots, both overall and in the season. First, talk to me about the season, and then we'll talk about your 3 seniors.
Yeah, I mean, the season has been great. Obviously, going from a 3-win season to a 10-win season is great, and I think bringing in we worked hard to bring in a lot of new players to help us get to that point. So it has been good in that regard, and I think we've got a lot of guys in that room that have buy-in and are willing to compete and do whatever it takes each and every night to get it done. So, and then Trey, Drew, and Tommy have been tremendous captains. I mean, they've continued to push this culture in the right direction, and the younger guys understand that, and they're buying in as well.
Brought in a lot of good freshmen, as you just mentioned. Let's talk about Kennedy and Rieger for a second. They've been, maybe take today out, but for the most part, phenomenal. Aiden leads the NE10 in plus-minus right now. Owen is third, I believe. He's got 14 assists. Kennedy, talk to me about those two guys and what you've seen in them as two freshmen to play them together.
Yeah, I mean, when we recruited those two, we had an idea of, okay, these guys are going to come in and carry the load on the back end, and they've done everything we've asked of them. Their game when they played junior hockey translated well to college, and you've seen they've had success. And putting them together, they've been able to find each other and make plays to each other, which has been great. But their skill set is off the charts. As you see, their hockey IQ is tremendous, which allows them to, have a plus-minus of 13 and 8. And, Rieger is getting more comfortable on the backside defending. I think that was the biggest thing for him, was being able to defend the play, and I think he's gotten really, really good at it. And then Aiden's has that offensive upside that we've always loved and want to continue to run the offense through his hands.
Talk to me about Baxter Kimball. Came into the program. Started somewhat slow, but has really come on lately, 14.7 goals. Despite the struggles on the power play, tied for the NE10 lead in power play goals. So talk to me about Baxter.
Yeah, Baxter's a 200-foot player. Baxter has great skill, great IQ, but the thing I love about Baxter is his compete level, and he works. I mean, he doesn't give up on plays. He carries the line when he needs to. He's kind of your all-around Swiss Army knife. You could put him in every situation, PK, PP, up a man, down a man, 4-on-4. He's able to be that Swiss Army knife for him because of his compete level and his hockey IQ.
And before we let you go to last question, Ben Kunine, who's had a phenomenal season, in the running for probably goaltender of the year. We'll see how that plays out. It's going to be close with him and Colin Burke. But he's had a great year, .939 save percentage, 9-7. Talk to me about him overall.
Yeah, I mean, Benny has been a guy that we, had he not been injured last year for a big portion of that season, that's what you would have got from Ben last year. But he's finally, relishing in his role as that goalie that we recruited to come in and play big minutes for us, and he's been very, very good for us. I mean, he's had to stand on his head a couple games and make saves that he, really had no business making. But then, to Ben's credit, he makes the saves that he needs to make, and that's what helps us win hockey games. When you got a guy back there that can make the saves that he has to make, and then mix in a couple extras, game-changing saves. That's why we're a 10-win team this year.
Coach, not the way we wanted to have this one after a game like this, but thank you as always for everything this season.
Absolutely.
I know your season is not over, our home season is, but thank you, and see you down the road. Good luck tomorrow and on Tuesday.
Thank you. Thanks for everything you guys do.
You got it. Coach Tim Richter, that's all. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the other side. Final score, Franklin Pierce 5, Post University 1. Good night, everybody.